Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goals Hole podcast. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, hi. I'm Gunil, I'm 21. I have a background in martial arts. I have a bachelor's degree in film and television, and that's about it. I'll pass the microphone on.
Hi, I'm sungyungko. I'm Gunil and JinJin's sister. I'm 20, almost 21. I go to college up DuPage, and I'm also a 4th degree black belt in TaeKwonDo.
My name is JinJin, Jinko. I have a background in TaeKwonDo. I'm a 4th degree black belt, and I'm about to be a senior in high school.
You have a master's degree.
I have a master's degree in
TaeKwonDo.
TaeKwonDo, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
So how has your guys' summer been going so far? I know all of you kind of like work around
I'm tired.
TaeKwonDo school.
I'm tired.
You're tired? You're tired of summer already?
I'm tired. I need to just sleep.
I feel that.
Yeah, with summer camps and stuff, I've been waking up at like 7 o'clock every day. I'm tired. You and me, we've all been doing it too. So we've all been like trading off and stuff, and I'm still just tired.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel that.
Yeah, I feel like half of me, like, all I've been doing is sleeping. But also, like, I've been waking up so early and working so much. It's like, you know, I guess it's a balance of both.
Yeah.
But like you said, like, summer camp, I'm getting so tired of those children early in the morning, screaming, running around every day. It's like, I don't even want to anymore. Like, this is enough. I can't.
I didn't say that, but
At first, she was like, before summer camp started, she's like, "Oh, I can't wait! I'm so excited to hang out with all these. Like, I'm so excited to like be leading summer camp and all this." And after like the first week, she's like, "I'm done. I don't want to do this." Like, just like take the job for me.
Yeah, you know, like there's those moments that it's like, damn, like this is a good job, and then like there's other moments where you gotta like clean something up. You're like,
Yeah. One
why is
bad
that there?
moment.
Whenever you have to clean the bathroom in TaeKwonDo.
No, I pour my heart and soul into that.
No, really, you're the best
You're like, you're the
cleaner
best
ever.
cleaner.
I mean, yeah,
They all say I'm the best. Even
you are the best
You
cleaner.
deserve like an award, like, for
We
that.
should have a TaeKwonDo awards. Like,
Oh, I
website.
think-
Employee of the month.
Somebody
Elijah.
was talking about doing a competition
I
with like
think we
me,
should.
me and a few other people.
Because we'll get like a little plunger statue and like
That's
give it to
cool.
the person who every month who like does the best job cleaning the bathroom.
Elijah every month.
So
He has, like,
It'll be
20
Elijah
plunger
every month.
statues.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we have so in Taekwondo we have like the trophies, right?
Yeah.
So what if you took like the little guy that's kicking at the top and just replaced that with like a plunger?
Just give him a
like
plunger.
a
Just
little
give him
metal
a
plunger.
Yeah, exactly. We can do that. We'll do that, and then we'll do another award for like just coolest teacher. And
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
just go to me every month.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean,
You barely teach, bro.
Okay, but like, I'm the coolest teacher. That's.
But I think I should just get it, and then yeah, we'll get the shortest teacher in there too.
Me?
No, I think it's Sophia actually,
Yeah. By like 1 inch.
by like an inch, but like still, and then we'll get the tallest teacher, which is I think Howard
yeah.
actually. Yeah. So-
Howard, yeah.
Yeah.
Never.
I think this is gonna.
Or Elijah. Is Elijah tall?
No,
I don't.
are you taller than Howard?
Yesterday he said that that I was taller, but I don't actually think so. I don't know.
Really?
I tell her.
We'd have to do it back to
Let's
back.
call him to ask him how tall he
Bring him
is.
over right now.
I'm 5'11", but with shoes I'm
Okay.
6. So that's what I say. I'm 6.
Okay, yeah, there you
Just
go.
round it up. Doesn't
Yeah.
I
matter.
think he's like 6 foot too, or 6'1".
Yeah.
Probably.
Howard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, we'll give it to Howard every month.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys.
Unnecessary, unnecessary.
In what, 2 weeks you guys are going to Korea. Are you guys excited for that? And if you are, what are you excited for?
You mean to answer first?
Yeah, ask me in birth order.
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Well, sure. Yeah. I think it's about 2 weeks now, right? I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. I'm excited for sure because
Hell yeah.
we'll be doing some training there too. You know, it's not just vacation. It's work. It's a little work vacation. You know,
Yeah.
and it'll be fun. You know, I've only been a few times in my lifetime, and yeah, I think the most interesting part I think is going to be the training because I know they probably train a little differently than we do here in America. So it's going to be I have a feeling it's gonna be harder than I think it is,
so.
but we'll see, and we'll get to see some extended family
that's
over there
cool.
too, which is gonna be fun, I mean, you guys want to add on anything?
Yeah.
I think I summed it up pretty well.
I mean, I was gonna say that I was asking mom and dad like what how the training's gonna be,
Yeah.
and then he was like, "Oh, because you guys are American, they're probably gonna take it easy on you guys. Like, they don't want to scare you away." I was like, "Oh, that's good." So hopefully that'll be the case. Other than that, like you said, I'm just excited to be going there. I haven't traveled in a group before, so it's gonna be different to travel with 30 people with
That's
us
true.
like the
That's
whole
true.
time.
Yeah.
And the travel time for each destination is like 3 hours. It's gonna be like we're spending at least like 2 days of like added up of just travel time, which I'm not looking forward to because I hate being in like a car for so
Plus
long.
the 14-hour
And the
plane
14-hour flight, like it's gonna be a lot of travel time. So that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. Other than that, it's gonna be great. I just know.
Gonna eat some good food though.
Trust.
I mean,
Oh man.
Good food.
For
Just
me,
saying.
I can imagine.
for me, I feel like it's different. I mean, I've only gone there
once.
and you guys have gone twice before me.
Well, no,
well,
we've gone. This will be our 3rd time.
This will be my second.
This will be your second time.
And like, although because you guys were like older when you guys went your second time,
Yeah.
so you guys remember more. For me, I don't really remember going my first time, so this is gonna be a new experience. I'm gonna see, cause like I remember our like extended family, but I don't like have any like memories with it or like anything like that. So I think it's gonna be new.
You'll look at
experience
some
for me.
pictures and some videos to kind of jog your memory for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys, like we gotta brush up on our Korean because like none of our family like speaks English good. I'm telling you. So if we don't know what we can't say anything to them, it'll be so awkward, bro. Like, it'll be like not cool. Like I want to learn at least a little like more like actually talk to them.
I downloaded an app too.
You did?
I downloaded an app.
Duolingo? I don't do that.
Actually, no, I got Lingo Deer.
Much better.
And I got it 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking, oh yeah, I'll start brushing up on my Korean. And
Never happened.
I haven't touched it since, and every day I get a notification saying like, hey, why don't you try 15 minutes of Korean today? And I'm like,
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's been like that for about 2 years now. So I should probably listen to Lingo Deer because we got a few more weeks left before we get.
Well, for me, I never learned Korean. Like I'm learned like hi and like bye.
Went to Korean school for like 3 years.
I went to Korean school, but like I was really young. But also I skipped. I didn't go to classes. I skipped classes because they wouldn't let me in if I didn't know how to say something, and I would not know how to say anything. So you guys know more than me. So when you guys, cause like also you guys had like when you say speak Korean, you have to have like some type of like tongue like you know what I mean, like some words you say you have to have like a strong tongue to like say pronounce it like correctly.
Tongue curls,
tongue curl like ooh. But, like you guys been practicing that since you're younger. I haven't. So for you guys, when you speak Korean, it sounds natural, like more natural than what I do. Like from my ears,
I feel like
I don't know. It just
I don't know. I haven't heard you speak Korean
ever.
So
if I try, I instantly stop because it's just like I can't.
You're right now.
You're kind of like forcing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean because I'm that way with Spanish because there's words I definitely cannot pronounce.
Yeah.
And no, like other people, I see them and it just like they say it and it's like completely flowing. But like I just like learned like maybe a year or two ago on how to like roll my R, and I literally couldn't do it. And it sounds like so bad when I do it. It sounds so bad.
Yeah.
But no, I totally understand that. I get that 100%. So during these podcasts, I like to go through like my guest backgrounds, to like establish their credibility for later what we're gonna talk about and stuff. So I'm gonna start with like maybe like your childhood. Where did you guys always grow up in like the area that you live now, or was there like anywhere else or something like that?
No. We've been in the area for a while. When I was born, we were in somewhere. Not here, but we were in the state, like a couple of towns over. We were in the area. And then you were born in the great state of Cheesehead, Wisconsin. So you weren't born around here, but then we moved back here, and then he was born here. Yeah. And so we've been around in the area ever since. So we've just been kind of around.
But we were living in Wisconsin for a couple of years.
For a few years. Yeah.
before you were
You
born.
probably conceived there. I don't know.
There's a good chance. We don't know. I would not like to know.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so we've kind of been in the area for most of our lives. I mean,
Yeah.
and then Wisconsin's not even that far away.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
it's like-
what,
An hour and a half.
and it depends on what part of Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
We're not very far, so yeah.
All right,
Is that
so
the only part? That was the only question, right?
yeah, no,
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just-
been around like
Yeah.
South Elgin, Bartlett, Hanover Park.
yeah.
Hanover Park, I think is.
We
where
used
I
to
was
live
born.
right by.
I grew up.
Really?
Yeah, actually, we
right
used to
down the
live
road.
down the
I
street
was just
here.
thinking about that.
Yeah,
Like,
and
Yeah.
when
That's
actually when
that's where I grew up.
yeah, where he grew up was like down the
Yeah,
street
that's
over
it.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like a long time ago when Micah first started going to Horizon, I think somebody told my mom that Sonny went to Horizon or something.
yeah, we all went
Makes
to
sense.
Horizon.
You all went
We
to okay, yeah,
Horizon.
no,
did.
yeah. And
we,
I was
well,
like,
we went to Liberty for like a year,
Mhm.
and then we just dipped.
It
It was just not a good
Like,
school.
I cried so
it was
much.
a bad
at
school,
Liberty.
and then we came back to Horizon.
Yeah,
you know?
Horizon's the best. I mean, it was though.
I don't know.
Shout out Dr. Garrick, old principal, best principal ever.
Dr. Garrett.
Yeah, she let
How
us
do you
have
remember her name?
She's the best.
I don't remember.
She let us
I
have
remember.
the keys to the entire school, like the one key that unlocked all the doors. So I like ran around the entire school one day, just unlocking all the
And
doors.
she gave us free chips.
Yeah, she was the best. Man.
W.
How come I don't remember this?
I don't know.
I don't
And
know.
you guys do.
Were you
Like you
there
don't
that
remember
day?
Korea, but you remember this.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Like how?
I don't know.
You remember that?
Good memories. Good
Exactly.
memories. Good memories. Nah, I don't remember my principal at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Doctor
Yeah.
starts with an S. I don't know. He had white hair or whatever. But can you guys like describe your upbringing? Was it like good? Was it like fun and whatever?
Well, with these guys, it wasn't. I don't know.
I
don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to start with this one because I don't really know what to say. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
No,
Whoa.
I mean like not many people have like a TaeKwonDo grandmaster
Yeah.
as a father. So I'm just curious. Like I want to know.
Yes, I mean, I would say we had a pretty normal upbringing in life. You know, the only difference is it's like, you know, we have a teacher as a parent, you know, and it's a little different because it's an after school program too.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, so
Yeah.
it was a little different in terms of like the normal 9 to 5 job
Yeah.
family dynamic. So you know, it would be like 4 to 9 for him. So you know, it is a little weird. We get home from school and we not really see him until late at night unless we take class or go to the school.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a little different. I mean, our dinner time was like 9 o'clock every single night
Yeah.
for like our entire lives, just because we wanted to eat together. So it's slight differences like that, but overall, I think it was a pretty normal upbringing.
So-
I don't really
Yeah.
think it was any different.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have anything?
I was gonna say, I remember there was like a huge time period in our life though that we were going to like straight from school to TaeKwonDo
Yeah.
and doing our homework there and being there for like
That's
the
true.
entire work day, like with Appa and Mom, like when they were there, and like we were training because we were like competing like nationally for a long time. Like we were going to the Junior
I remember
Olympics
that.
and like state championships like every year. We were dedicating so much time and like all of our summers. We would go to all of the summer camps hosted
Yeah.
by APA. And we would like train super hard to just like compete in these tournaments and stuff. It was always, we were competing, we were going everywhere. It was like pretty crazy. We were dedicating like our whole lives and our to training in Taekwondo for like most of our childhood that I remember.
So what she's saying is, I was wrong.
No.
Um,
I'm just saying
No,
you weren't
see,
wrong.
I
I'm
feel
just
like,
saying,
no,
I
but-
remember it differently. And I was like,
no,
that's
because I
interesting.
feel like I'm remembering more of the latter half of my childhood, and
yeah,
I think
yeah.
you're remembering more of the prior half, the earlier
it
half.
definitely
Yeah.
changed though.
It
Yeah,
did
you're right.
change. I feel like, but I do remember what you're saying. Though I feel like that was a huge part of our life in the beginning, in the early childhood,
Yeah.
for us especially. And then I feel like I'm remembering more of like
Older child, yeah.
6th grade to like
hmm
freshman year of high school type style,
Yeah.
dynamic. You know what I mean?
But before that, we were doing this.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah. For me, I think it was like whenever, like when you guys were old enough to stay home, like with me, like take care of me, then that's when things changed. Cause like I could have been still like really young, but you guys would be able to take care of me like at home by yourself. So Yeah, beginning of my the early stages of like our childhood, we definitely like stayed the whole day from school straight to TaeKwonDo.
Well, mom was always there. Too.
Yeah, true, but yeah.
At home.
But if we ever like wanted like if we ever were at home and it was just us three, then I was still pretty young because you guys could take care of me then. So yeah, that was the only difference.
Yeah, that's kind of that's like the exact kind of like answer I was searching for.
Yeah.
Like you guys all answered it very, very well. I was just like thinking like, you know, he's a grandmaster. He's got to have like a very like disciplined mindset, especially when it comes to your wait. No, I mean like he's got to be like teaching you guys like respect and like
for sure.
you know, like hard work and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like kind of searching for
And not
and
just
you,
that.
you guys kind of like just talked about it very
Yeah,
very well.
and it's like not just that too. It's, I mean, because our mom is also a martial artist too.
Yeah, of course.
So she has those values like embedded in her core roots and memory and stuff like that. So it wasn't just him; it was like both of them engraving this like very disciplined style, like
Of hard work. And
hard work and like work for what you get.
Yes, of course.
Get what you work for.
That's really really good though.
Yeah,
That's really good. So you guys said that you went to Liberty and also Horizon. You guys went to Kenyon Woods.
I did.
You went to actually no, yeah.
Us too.
You guys can answer this question if it's Kenyon Woods.
Where'd you go?
I went to Taft Middle School.
Taft. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to trace like the
Yeah.
schools.
Mm.
And then after that it was all South Elgin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So at what age did each of you start doing Taekwondo?
I think it's all the same number.
You were like 2 or 3.
I was like 3, I think.
Yeah, I was
2 or
like
3.
2.5.
Damn.
3.
Yeah. We've been doing this all our lives.
Since the womb.
Wow.
Mom was doing her black belt testing
With she was pregnant with
you, yeah.
JinJin
She was doing
in
black belt
her
testing when she was
belly.
pregnant.
Yeah.
She was pregnant with
That's
JinJin in her
crazy.
belly. So basically,
And
you're testing for black belt in the womb.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I was a black belt guy.
And well, I remember hearing stories of like all of the grandmasters and masters who were like judging the testing were telling her, like, you can stop. You can for like the for the physical requirements. You're like, you can chill out a little bit. We know you're pregnant. Like it's okay. And she's like, nah, I'm doing this. Let's go. And she did it, and she did like she excelled. So it's like
That's
it's
awesome.
crazy. And I think that's why you're the most athletic out of all of us.
That's why.
That's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
our entire lives, basically, you know, we've been in this
It's
world.
been straight from birth doing martial arts.
Before birth for you.
Before birth.
Yeah, for you, yeah.
Before birth.
I feel like during high school and middle school, I feel like I was slacking so hard. I was like on and off. We were all
too.
were. We,
Oh,
we
yeah,
took,
for sure.
we took a couple breaks too, like for like a long time, maybe like even like a year-ish.
Yeah.
For me, I took a long break because I started football.
Yeah.
I led in 7th grade. So from 7th grade to like freshman year, I completely like just stopped martial arts totally.
Yeah.
Until I started like finding time for it, and like even if I was tired, I'd want to go. And then I started getting more serious about it, and yeah, that's just now. Like now, I'm
Yeah.
trying to get more serious with it.
Also, like there's like an age requirement to be a master too. So I think that might contribute to some of it, but
It's
I'm not
true.
entirely sure.
Yeah, and I mean, for me too, it was mostly middle school for me. You know, the moody years for most people. So you know, I think all of us had a point where we're like, I kind of don't want to do this anymore, or at least at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was because, in part, not I don't think we knew this consciously, but I think in part it's like because we were waiting for the next belt for us,
Yeah.
which we couldn't get yet because of that age requirement. So we were just kind of tired and didn't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's not the case anymore. But you know, that's how it was back in the day when I was young and spry.
Okay. But yeah.
So yeah, I took I don't want to actually, cause I was working there. I didn't really ever take a break like that, but yeah, it was always like I was working there and it'd be like once a week. So I wouldn't go any other day except for that one day, and that really did set me behind because I see like Sophie and even like Alec, and they know like all the stuff. They know all the sparring. They know all the defense, and I'm like still asking, like going back and forth with like Howard asking like, oh, I don't remember purple number 2.
Yeah.
Right? Can you remind me?
Don't even worry, because we've been there since we were 2
Yeah.
for our entire life. I don't even know them. Like
Yeah.
I still get them confused. So don't even worry. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I cannot do that.
Yeah.
And
that.
you know, I feel like I forget a few of them a lot too, and I'm there all the time.
There are times where like you and like some other master are like, I thought it was this, and they're like, no, I thought it was this.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh no, what is it? So
Yeah.
like we'll have to clarify, and no one really knows.
That happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
You'll ask
We'll,
two-
we'll
two
clear it
people
up
something.
eventually.
Yeah, we'll clear it up
Yeah.
eventually. But you'll ask one master something like, "Oh, it's this," and then they ask another master because like they forgot again. And it was something completely different.
Yeah.
So,
Like so whenever I'm like too embarrassed to ask anybody, I'll like secretly pull up the student handbook on the website and just like literally scroll and find it, and then like so it's like, oh yeah, I knew it. After I did so much research to have to find it, like
That's
Yeah,
fun.
and I mean, like, even me, because, like, I know most of them just because I've been doing the teaching aspect of
Yeah,
it
that's
for so long at this point.
Yeah.
At least, actually,
5 years.
no. At least 6 to 7 years.
yeah. Basically like all of high school and
Yeah,
college.
all of high
almost.
school and on college, I've been teaching and stuff.
Yeah, that's-
So, and even now, I still forget. So,
Yeah.
you know, if
Can't
you're
be
coming,
perfect.
can't be
Low-key,
perfect.
like sometimes, I just hope like the student knows it.
yeah. When
Yeah.
I'm teaching, like,
Yeah.
when I'm teaching, I'm like, cause like I don't know what they're supposed to learn sometimes, cause I'm newer to it, so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, do number one, and they're like, okay, and if they don't know it, I'm like, just keep practicing your old one, don't worry about it. I'm
like if they only know number 2, you're like
Yeah.
keep doing
I'm like,
number 2.
keep doing number 2. I'll be like, I'll be back in 1 second, and then I completely forget about them because I go away. And then the time's over. I'm like, oh, I completely forgot to teach them number 1. And I'm like, okay, that's how it's gonna be now.
Or I'll be like, who over here knows number 2?
Oh,
And
that's
then,
what I
like,
do,
and
yeah.
they're like, and they're like, me, like, all right, show me then. And they do it. I'm like, that's good. Show everybody, like, tell everybody. Like, I didn't even know what it was. I was like, all right, show me.
I do that.
I'm like,
all the
or
time.
if none of them know it, and they're like,
Guys,
oh, like, oh, you guys don't know it? Like, guys, like, come on.
You guys are spilling all the teaching secrets here.
Yeah.
Stop.
Sorry.
Don't watch this part. This is teaching
You're right.
secrets here.
Don't worry, we still are good teachers. Like,
Yeah.
it's not,
Like,
you know, it's just the bad days.
If anything, we know how to like teach the kicks. And
Yeah.
we know how to teach the punches, and like when we see the sparring, it's like, oh, we know where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
We know what it's
And-
supposed to be. You know how like
It's supposed to look.
if you're going against somebody, you know like how to block and like all that. You know where.
And I mean, at this point, for all of us, I think if it like what you just said, if they start doing it, like it clicks immediately. You
Yeah,
remember
for sure.
everything. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, we're good. I'm good now. I'm back in the game. I remember everything. We're fine. You know, so it's just a jump start thing.
Yeah.
It's not like we've completely forgotten
True.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same for you too.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So, exactly.
It comes back. Like,
It comes
once-
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy.
So what qualities has Taekwondo taught you like as a person? So like in your maybe your mindset, or maybe it's taught you like perseverance and stuff like that. What qualities has it given you that you've noticed?
Still in your birth order.
I'm back.
Let's diverse it.
Want to switch it up a little bit?
For me, I think Taekwondo has really taught me like just to finish what you start. Obviously, there's times where I'm like, oh, I just want to stop now. But having like all my family like around me, they're like, no, you have to continue. That really helped me like persevere through all like the journeys and things I've done. Even like with sports, like Taekwondo has really helped me with football. Like believe it or not, because in football I would be like, oh, this sucks, but I'm like, I want to like I have to continue doing it because like I set my mind to it and I want to get better. I want to do this. So Taekwondo's really helped me with also just why am I blanking on the word? Discipline, like being disciplined in anything. Like Taekwondo's really helped me with that because we're teaching to be disciplined and to be loyal and just like just respect in general. So for me, Taekwondo's really helped me with that.
I also think it helped you a lot with football too.
Like,
You,
just that- like,
you
the
played
physical
football
aspect, yeah.
really late.
Yeah, I started like compared to everybody I played with in football, like 7th, 8th grade. They've been playing since they were like flag football, 2 years old or something
Yeah.
like that. And I caught up. I my first year I was starting already defensive line, and like that just helped me because the physical aspect of Taekwondo helped me get prepared for
Yeah.
football. So yeah,
I think-
everyone was surprised.
Yeah.
You know, in a good way.
yeah.
Also, having done Taekwondo, it's like every class is like a leg day.
Yeah,
especially
Yeah.
if you're coming off of like elite team or something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or
yeah.
sparring.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the same thing when I was doing cross country. It was like, that freshman is fast.
Yeah.
Nobody expected it, but I'm like, yeah, I do Taekwondo. We do squats and stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, I was ready for it. So
Yeah.
That's the thing too. I feel like same with me. I did track for a little while in elementary and middle school, maybe was it, or high school? I don't know. We did it for a couple years, and I competed in a couple times. So when I did track, it was like I was so good at the long jump because I was like jump sidekick.
Yeah.
I was like long jump
yeah,
sidekick,
yeah. I can
and like
imagine.
I was pretty fast and stuff. And then I feel like same like Taekwondo has helped me become like kind of a little bit better than average in like the basic athletic skills like balance, coordination. Like Taekwondo has helped me like become good in all those aspects. So like I apply it to everything that I do, and it helps me kind of like go above and beyond. And also it has challenged me to become a black belt, have a black belt mentality in whatever I do. They always would tell us like, whatever you are from now on in your life, you are a black belt, like a black belt doctor, a black belt engineer, a black belt student. Like you always be a black belt in that. So to apply the black belt mentality in everything you do, like having determination, confidence, perseverance, and like you represent, knowing deep down that you represent our school and everything that you do. So that challenges me to become a good role model and be a good person in everything that I do as well, because I represent our school and our family and what I stand for, and like all my beliefs, I represent that before, like not just myself, you know. And one more thing, sorry.
That was great. All right.
One good big thing that it taught me that I kind of have lost like recently is it taught me how to lose, like especially
Yeah.
as the master's
yeah.
as the master's daughter and like a master's children. We've had so much pressure in tournaments like by other masters to like do so good and to win, and like if we lose, the person who beat us would be like, bro, you just beat the master's daughter, like oh, you know,
And,
like,
you
and it's
know.
like I didn't want to disappoint my family name like that, you know.
Yeah.
It was so much pressure to lose, but when I did lose, which I did, we won so many times. But when you lost though, it hurt, but it also taught me to be stronger, and it didn't let me like feel that I was a loser. It made me feel stronger and actually more encouraged to be better next time. And I knew I wasn't a loser just because I lost a tournament. Like learning how to lose is so valuable, even more than just being a winner all the time. Like it takes like courage to like take a loss, like and like
you learn
and be
things
better
more.
from that and not give up after that or be discouraged, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you learn things more when you lose than when you
Yeah,
win,
you actually
absolutely.
do, for sure.
Yeah, and you just said like everything I
What?
could have ever
Your
said.
personal.
I mean, yeah, I feel like, you know, discipline is a big part of it for me. I think that's the biggest part for me. I mean, obviously, all of these aspects have kind of been, have affected my life too in ways, but I feel like for me, it's mostly been about discipline and setting an example. Because I am the eldest of you two, you know, so I've always been pressured to be the example for you two, you know, and so that plus the discipline aspect of martial arts, plus being the grandmaster's son, plus, you know, other things, I've always tried to be disciplined. I've always tried to lead by example. I've always tried to at least just be a decent person, you know, in not only like martial arts, but like in life in general, you know. And you know, I don't know. And plus, as a teacher too now, I feel like I have a responsibility to do what I preach, you know, to be an example in and out of, you know, the dojo. So
100%.
you know, I think teaching has changed my life in more ways than training ever has. I think for sure. You know.
Yeah. So I kind of want to go back to what Sonny said, because I thought
Good
it was
answer.
like eloquently put. You said you're basically explaining like resilience. So I was thinking like when you say that if you fail, you learn to like avoid what caused you to fail. So like let's say you're running, right, or something like that. Maybe you trip on a rock.
Yeah.
So now you know to avoid rocks while you're running and stuff like that. So that's something that maybe you're a winner, maybe you're kind of reckless, and you run over rocks or something. I don't know, but like you know what to avoid, and then maybe you'll win better, and then you'll continue to win like that. I don't know. I was just kind of thinking about that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So do you guys? When you think of like your ideal like martial artist, what do you think? What qualities do you think defines a good martial artist? Well, it's kind of like all the things you were describing, but like if you had to put it all together into one, how would you guys describe it?
I was gonna say, this always comes to mind, this quote that's like, a black belt is a white belt that never quit. And I think that's the most important thing, and to become a good martial artist is to show up. That's the first step. When you become consistent and you show up for yourself every single day, there is no doubt that you will see improvement. You will become better. And that's the first step, is just being, that's how you be a martial artist. It's about time, putting in the time and consistency, and that's basically all you need, and giving it your all every time. Then you're going to be a good martial artist, or you're going to be a good whatever you do, whatever you be consistent in, you'll become better, you know?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, absolutely. What was the question?
So how would you?
Okay, I had an answer. Okay,
yeah.
a good martial. See, I had an answer in my head, and I just blanked for a second. You know? Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree 100%, and I also think, you know, technique is secondary. Of course, it's important to be skillful and to be, you know, well-rounded. But I feel like the biggest thing is being balanced. You know, you can't be a skillful martial artist without discipline, without perseverance, without, you know, balance between all aspects of your life, you know. So I think what makes a great martial artist is being able to balance your life. And of course, not everyone is perfect at it. Not everyone is the best at it. Even like legendary martial arts figures in history aren't all the time, you know, balanced in that way. But I feel like if you're striving to make that balance in your life, you're a great martial artist, you know. And I'm not trying to discount skill. I feel like skill is probably very important, you know. But I feel like when it comes to things like your discipline, your focus, your mental state, it comes second. That's just me personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree.
I really have nothing to add. I have nothing to add on to that. Like, you guys just said it perfectly. So yeah, I'm just not gonna add on.
What is a good martial artist like?
Just you. I think a good to be a good martial artist, like what you guys said, balance and like just like like everything like completely around it. And not only like the discipline, but also showing respect to people, because we teach like discipline, respect, and all that. Like I realized that like seeing like people like in high school, people are so disrespectful to anybody, everybody. And I'm like how did you grow up to like be so disrespectful? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I think to be a good martial artist is to be respectful, to be disciplined, and to do the right thing when no one's looking. The basic answer.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, absolutely, you know, and I feel like I see a lot of martial artists, a lot of martial artists, you know, who are disrespectful in like extreme ways, and I'm just thinking like, what the heck, you guys? Why, you know? And it's the same thing with like teenagers in high school, disrespect. The disrespect is just all over the place, you know, and I think it's important to kind of instill those values in martial artists at the very least, you know.
Yeah. I think you definitely see the disrespect when you're talking about like the lower belts, but as you get higher, as you're like with the program longer, you definitely like see it start to disappear.
Absolutely.
I really can't like think of any like third degrees or masters, any second degrees that really have like a real problem with that. Yeah. So that's what I would have to say, because I think like as you go through it, it definitely like you learn better, you know better.
For sure. Absolutely.
Because it's a lifestyle, it kind of comes with it.
Mm-hmm. It's the way of life.
It
is. Yes.
What is your guys' favorite part of Taekwondo? Whether it's like teaching, sparring, breaking boards, demonstrating, self-defense, anything, and why?
You're ready to go. You're ready to go.
For me, I have like I'm gonna say like my top three, because I can't really choose from them. I love demonstrating, I love self-defense, and I love sparring. Like those three things keep me like going with Taekwondo, because like demonstrating, I love performing, I love trying to show people what is possible and what they can do too, and just like to test my ability on what I can do as well. I love sparring because I love the combat aspect of it, but also like there's so much more than just kicking and punching. there's technique that goes along with everything. That when you see like professionals do it, that you, like when you're not trained to like see those things, it just seems like they're just throwing kicks and punches. But when you've been training for a while and you really see what's going on, you're like, wow, I know how. I've been training that, and they're doing it in the fight. It's just
It's a chess game.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's completely incredible, you know. And then self-defense, I just love like always all my life I loved watching like stunt movies or like fighting movies. I feel like self-defense is just a part of that, you know what I mean? Because like for self-defense goes along with demonstration. When me and her do self-defense, it really I like to put acting into it. I like to make it look like I really got hit, and I just love that aspect of it. You know,
Yeah.
It feels like real world then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
I feel that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, nowadays I love demonstration more than anything. Like, cause putting on a show and like having a whole crowd in front of you, the adrenaline you get, like, and it's like you're so focused that you kind of like black out from that. Like, you zone everything out, and you're so in the zone, and your adrenaline's pumping, and you're doing it. You're breaking the boards, you're screaming. Like, I'm screaming so loud, like I'm doing my best key out, my best yell, and like shaking. I'm literally like I feel so like in the zone, like, of being like a martial artist and putting on that show. And like showing everybody what I have to offer as a martial artist, and like the reactions from the crowd and like the cheering and the people like whoa, like that just makes you feel so good. And you just as a team too, because it's always a team effort. Demonstration team,
absolutely.
it's a team, 100%. So like having that team and like getting through that together and like putting on a good show with people of all ages, I feel like it's like the best thing ever. Like you know.
Yeah. And I feel like too, for me at least, and I feel like it's for you as well. Doing the demonstrations like kind of pushes you to want to one up yourself in ways to kind of kind of go a little more crazy for the next one, the next one, and I feel like that's for me as well. And I feel like I'm gonna sound very, very redundant and like a broken record here, but I like the demonstrations. But I feel like for me, because of my film and television background now, and then also I did a little bit of theater back in the day. I like to kind of give a show, perform a little bit, and I like to, because right now at least I'm starting to learn to put together the demos now. So it's creating a spectacle, something that draws people into the world of martial arts, just how these martial arts movies have done for me as a kid, and our lifestyle as well. And I do love sparring too, because I feel like it's so like beautiful. If it's done well, it's so beautiful. Especially like I don't know. I got a lot of opinions on sparring, Olympic sparring nowadays that I don't want to get into, but it's okay. And I also like. I think we all like the same thing. Self-defense is awesome. Yeah, I love it. Again with that acting aspect to give it like a sense of like excitement for a demonstration. Weapons are fun too.
Oh yeah.
Although nunchucks seem like the most like impractical weapon you can have. It's cool to have that knowledge at least, because you never know when like a stick is tied to another stick and you gotta finish it. You never know, okay? You never know. And even like with the bow staff, one of the most practical weapon you can learn. It's just fun and awesome to use. I don't know. And I feel like an underrated one is form. I'm just gonna name off everything that has to do with TaeKwonDo. Form is underrated, and it's just so cool. And like it's very military. It gives me a very military vibe, where it's like very structured and very strong, and when done well, you start to sweat. I feel like after doing like all the forms. Oh, by the way, can I say this on the podcast? Congratulations!
Thank you
on your testing. You tested yesterday for your 4th degree black belt, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I since we're talking about it on the topic, and from like doing all the forms yesterday for your testing, back to back, it's exhausting.
Yes.
When you're having to really think about every single move you have to do, and like every proper way to do it, it gets exhausting
Man, yeah.
really fast, you know?
Yeah.
And in every one of your movements, like for your forms, I was watching you, and you did like all the forms basically. So that was so many. But even until the end, you were giving all your power in each movement, and I'm like, dude, that's gotta be hard. And after you did all the physical training, too, I was like, dude, this guy is crazy.
I was
like, and then you were like turning around and like doing it, and the sweat would fly off.
Yeah.
Like I saw sweat flying. I was like, this
That's
guy,
how you know you're doing good.
this
That's
guy
you're
is
working
doing
hard,
good.
you know?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I started
Form is
sweating on
hard.
like the first form. The first form I started sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you know you're doing good, though,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, even with like elite team, I always noticed that like when I was on elite team, I'd see like my say my peers, they're like on the other side of the room and they're doing like the whole form. I always like whenever I did it, I'd start the form and I'd do like the first move, and if I messed up, I'd go do it again.
Yeah.
And I'd go through like the first two moves over and over. I don't know if you ever saw that when I did. Whenever I did it, it was always like that. I just do like the first three moves, and I'm like, okay, not good enough. I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
That's the best thing about form is like one like tiny little like 1 degree pivot is a completely different thing than everything. Like form is very like you have to be like really dedicated to the movement, to the just the feel, like you have to like feel it, like and there has to be a rhythm. There's beats to it, there's technique to it, there's style to it, and like that's just like also like that's another thing I like about TaeKwonDo, I guess, because it's just it's very beautiful to watch when it's like done well.
Yeah.
In tournaments when you're seeing someone do it, the high kicks, the perfect snaps, the nice like stances, like it just looks beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
and
mesmerizing.
there's so many aspects to form too that you're constantly thinking about. You know, your stance, and within stance you have the angle of your pivot, how much your knees are bent, your torso, you know, positioning. Then you have like the blocks or the punches, you know. And then you have like the twists within that, like the strength of it, the snap of it, the kicks, and all of that within like your pivoting, your face, you know, how you look, you know, your level of your head. You have to be completely leveled throughout the entire form. There's so much you're thinking about for like 16 to 20 steps. And like, you're just constantly thinking the whole time.
Yeah.
I think more of it in terms of like exhaustion and sweat for form comes from just how much brain power you're using, as opposed to like how physically demanding it is.
I feel that.
You know?
Dude, like you went through everything. Like I don't even think about it like that, but that sounds so exhausting. You went every body part.
Yeah, everybody.
Everything is being thought about when you're doing your form.
But I feel like if you do it enough, like that, you will slowly start to not have to think about it anymore, and your body will naturally do it. But like in the beginning, when you're trying to like perfect it, of course that's got to be the process, you know.
It becomes muscle memory at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for me, that's how it is. So I know you said you did production for a little bit. You said you did track a long time ago, and you did football. So what other like things have you guys done outside of TaeKwonDo?
I guess I'll go first. Going back to birth order, I guess. So I mean, besides TaeKwonDo, I've done a lot of things. I mean, in early childhood to mid childhood, we were kind of thrown around to do a lot of things. I did guitar lessons a couple times for like not professional guitarists, but like people who are I'm paid to teach, and also from like family. My grandfather, my uncles, they're all like guitar players and drummers, and so I learned guitar from them a little bit. I did baseball for like 1 season. It sucked. I didn't do soccer. You did soccer.
Yeah.
I did nothing else. Okay, so that was early childhood. I started doing some theater productions throughout, and then I've wanted to do filmmaking since like early childhood. So I've always kind of tried to do some cool, fun like videos and stuff. We've done a lot of videos together. I've done some videos like throughout high school. I've got actual productions that I'm working on. yeah, I mean, I think sums up me pretty well.
Awesome.
Yeah, like we were all doing instruments at one point. So I was doing piano, and then I stopped piano, and then I did like voice lessons, and then later I did violin for the longest. So my piano teacher was like, it would hit me or something. I don't remember. I would cry. I did not like piano because of that. I could never go back to it. And then I did like violin for the longest time. So I think I know the most violin out of all those other things. And then I did the musicals with you. We did musicals together in high school, which was really fun. So I did musicals for like 4 different musicals, I think. And then we were all in the Beacon Academy, which is the film academy at our school.
I failed to mention that.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I'm gonna add it in for you.
Thank you.
Give you credits for that.
Thank you.
Because we were all in the academy for 4 years.
Shout out to Erickson.
Shout out to Erickson and Boss.
And Boss too, yeah.
We would make lots of like videos all the time. So that's like a big hobby that took our lives up. And TaeKwonDo for me, I didn't do any other sport. I did track for a bit, but yeah, mostly.
Oh, actually, I did like track for 1 season.
Yeah, I think you did track.
I think so. Yeah.
What event?
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
I remember I got first place in long jump, and I was like so short, and everybody was like, and they were like, "Yo, how did you get first place?" I was like, "I don't even know."
Jump sidekick.
Jump sidekick. And yeah, it was like the best. So.
For me, I kind of did a lot.
Yeah.
I was mainly a sports person though.
Yeah.
I did soccer for 2 seasons, maybe 3. I did basketball for a little bit.
1 season.
Well, I think 1, maybe 2. I think I did 2, maybe. I don't know. I did soccer, basketball. I did football for 5-6 years ish. I've done gymnastics. You did too. You forgot to.
I feel like I won.
We did it for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then other than that, I did. I played the trumpet. I played the trombone. I played the violin and piano.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I did all that. Also the Beacon program, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I forgot how much you do.
The gin of all trades.
Oh yeah, there we go. What that?
For one of his Beacon projects, he had to interview someone. He interviewed me, and it was called Jin of All Trades. I listed all the things I did.
Like
yeah.
the interview was supposed to be about. Oh, okay. Like the interview was supposed to be about like somebody like who has like I mean it's an interview. You're supposed to interview somebody who has like some crazy thing in their life. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do my brother, and I'm just gonna highlight the fact that he has just done everything. Like that's what I'm gonna do, and it worked. I got a good grade on it. So
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I love it. So have you guys ever like considered doing other combat sports, whether it's like or martial arts? I know maybe Hapkido, but maybe like boxing. Have you tried boxing or jiu-jitsu or like other grappling or other striking stuff?
Yeah, I love to keep doing other martial arts. I mean, yeah, we just kind of totally forgot about Hapkido.
Oh yeah, we did.
Because I technically have a 4th, or 2nd or 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a 2nd degree in Hapkido as well.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do technically have that. But I've always wanted to do a little bit of like Muay Thai, other martial arts for sure. Boxing, I just like box a little bit when I want to, But yeah, I mean, I think we did one judo seminar one time. We held a judo seminar. Were you there for that? I think you were.
I don't know. I've been to a lot of seminars.
Was it jiu-jitsu or judo? I think it was
Jiu-jitsu?
I would remember if it was jiu-jitsu.
I think you're
I think it was judo.
Oh,
because
it's
judo?
because we have judo masters. We know judo masters. I don't think we know any.
Okay, so yeah, we did a judo seminar, and that was a lot of fun.
That was
And
so
I wasn't
fun.
there.
It was hard. It was brutal, but it was fun. And I'd like to do a lot more martial arts because I feel like, I mean, knowing one discipline is fantastic, but knowing multiple is even better.
Like Bruce Lee.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would definitely want to try like judo seminar was so fun. I want to try something like on the ground based like combat. It's good to have that knowledge for sure. And jiu-jitsu seems really cool too. And
Especially since TaeKwonDo is very stand up.
Yeah.
Its style is totally different, So and even when we did the judo, like rolling around, like it was so satisfying to see how your body just like I don't know, it's cool. And also, yeah, like you said, what's it called, Muay Thai? Like it's like I feel like it's really popular now too for some reason, and it's like it looks so like crazy, like but also like scary. Like I don't know if I want to die. So yeah.
For me, I would love to do I would love to do boxing, but also I would love to do wrestling and judo and all that.
Yeah.
I was going to do wrestling in high school, but due to injuries, I
I
was like,
kept asking you.
Yeah.
I was like begging you.
yeah, really. My knee and my ankle were messed up. I was gonna do it sophomore year, but my knee was just gone, so I couldn't. And then I just quit football, so I can't do that. I don't want to do it anymore because I want to focus on TaeKwonDo. But I'd love to do boxing, some type of like groundwork, so like grappling stuff. Yeah, just the basics, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts. I mean, we do mixed martial arts, but like physical combat. Yeah, combat in the mixed martial arts.
What's the Chinese art? Because karate is from Japan. Taekwondo is Korean.
I want to say kung fu.
Kung fu. Yeah,
I'd
I'd like to do a little kung fu. I feel like
Some
that'd be
wushu.
fun. Some wushu. Yeah.
I think of like all types of like I want to just learn if I like, at the most like a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
like some type
I
of
did not
about
totally understand that.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so I will say you guys are saying ground martial arts like that, like jujitsu. So with jujitsu, it's good if you're going against like one person.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
have
yeah.
if you have a bigger opponent, that's what you're going for. But if you're like in a street fight and there's like 3 people, Taekwondo or boxing is what you got to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So you could take down a bigger opponent with jujitsu. You take them straight to the ground and then put them in like a headlock or like an armbar or something, and you're good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think
But-
boxing is really important too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know how to throw a proper punch.
Yeah.
or else
Yes.
your hand's gone.
Yeah, your wrist
Absolutely.
and everything.
I also think it's important to know how to use a gun. I would just say that. Ideally, if I'm in a situation like that, I mean, I do want to like,
I mean,
get trained in artillery.
It's like,
perhaps.
yeah, it's like, we do a gun self-defense thing,
Yeah.
where we, kind of reverse it and take the gun away from them. But
To know
when
how
you
to-
have it, what are you gonna do with it?
I feel that.
Because like, if you have no training on a gun, you don't even know how to disarm it.
Yeah.
Which is important too, to do both.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree with you. I think some amount of gun training is necessary.
Yeah, I think that's also kind of martial arts in a way too, learning how to use a gun,
Gun
like
fu.
weapon,
Gun fu.
gun
Yeah.
fu.
It's just like learning nunchucks, but
Yeah.
more.
More
a little more
dangerous.
dangerous. And this projectiles going 500 miles per hour versus 2 strings or 2 sticks and a string. Yeah.
So do you guys see, how far do you see martial arts going in your future? Or are you guys gonna like, do you see martial arts like far in your future? Let's say
Yes.
like 10, 20 years.
Yes. I feel even with other career aspirations that I may have, I feel like I will always want, and I'm going to make a point in my life to keep martial arts in my life, in some way, shape, or form. Even if I'm not actively teaching it, I want to be at least training at least in the afternoons and nights, when I have availability, because it's I feel like it's such an important part of my life. And when I was in college for the first semester, I moved downtown. It was hard. I didn't really do classes at all or something, and it was hard for me because I had done teaching and done classes for such a long time, to where it just hit me harder than I thought it would, to just abruptly stop like that, both physically and mentally. So I feel like I'm gonna try and make it a point to keep it in my life consistently, forever.
Yeah, I think that's a healthy way to look
Yeah.
at it.
I mean, I don't see it going anywhere. Till I'm like 90, I'm still gonna be training. I'm not. I'm even when I get children, when I have children, they're gonna be training martial arts.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that's gonna
the
be for
must.
all of
Yeah,
us.
like, I want to have martial arts be in my bloodline for as long as possible. I want it to be very important.
Yeah.
Because for me in my life, it was very important. So I want to and it also just helped me with life and helping me with my life in general. So I think spreading that could be really nice. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like in the future, I couldn't imagine myself not doing martial arts, or I couldn't imagine myself not having Taekwondo in my life, because it's always been there. So I don't know how to live kind of without it. It's like, what? Because such a big
Trust
part
me,
of me is
it'd
not
be
there.
hard.
Yeah. So
I know.
And also, like, our family business is martial arts. Like,
Yeah.
it's a part of our family. So it's like, I don't want to ever really let that go. And I kind of want to keep the family business alive. And someone's got to do it. We can all do it together, you know. So,
Yeah, I feel that.
yeah.
So I like how JinJin mentioned
Absolutely.
kids because
Yeah.
I think personally, I think that martial arts as a whole, I think it really does teach kids like the best values out of like everything.
Absolutely.
So I don't like personally, I don't think school will do that for you.
Yeah.
I don't think basketball camp will do that for you. Soccer
No.
camp. I think literally, I think martial arts is like the only one that will teach all of that, except if you're like a really, really good parent.
yeah.
If you're a really
I mean,
good
yeah.
parent, you can do it. But I
And
think
the best parents are martial artists.
yes, yes. Definitely.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like, especially since we're like, I'm thinking about it now, we are the first generation from our family to be like a continuation from martial arts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like Appa, didn't come from a martial arts family. He just did it himself. And Mom, she's same thing. She just started doing it herself. And then we were the
Product of
the
that.
product of that, you know.
That's
we
so
grew up on
cool.
it.
That is
So I
so
feel
cool.
like keeping that in our family line is gonna be
Legacy.
important.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
On
in our
YouTube.
name, bro. And I was gonna say too, it's in our last name, bro. K-O, like co last name. It's just perfect.
That's
You
perfect.
gotta,
That's
like,
perfect.
Yeah.
you know,
Knock out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys' like? Let's kind of move away from Taekwondo for a second because we've been talking about
Yeah,
it
for
for
Yeah.
a minute.
It's a long,
Yeah,
long
We might circle back eventually. I'm not sure. However this goes, but what are your guys' like long term goals or just like plans for the future?
Ooh. For me, I'm just gonna say I wanna go, especially right now, from what I can think about right now, I wanna go to college. I wanna study something like sports education, physical therapy, something physical, it's like something like that, or into the film and television range like he did, and then just make money. I guess that's all I got. I don't know what else to say. That's all I got. Yeah.
Be like a stuntman.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah. I really wanted to. I wanted to be, and I still want to be a stuntman. It's gonna be hard because you have to like know connections and stuff,
Yeah, you gotta.
and like you have to put your body through like so much physical like pain. I'm gonna just say, but like I really like if I could have a dream job, stuntman would be my dream job. So yeah, getting hurt. That's fine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, when I picture my future, I think like the most valuable thing to me has been having a family and a close family. So I want to like obviously have a family of my own that's close and continue like with you guys too with my family. That's like the best. That could be the best accomplishment probably in life. And I also want to have a job that allows me to spend lots of time with my family and actually like raise my own children. So like kind of want to have that freedom. I was thinking of probably ideally having my own business that would be like. I get to be my own boss and like have my own hours. So ideally, that's something I would want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I did graduate from a film and television program, and that the idea of directing movies has always been a dream of mine since I was a kid. So that's kind of like the direction I want to go in the future, at least. Although I do love martial arts, and that has always been like a very hard decision for me to kind of like pick and choose between doing martial arts as a career versus doing my film and television.
Passion.
It's a passion, you know, and it's hard, but I feel like, you know, I've got some stories I want to tell about martial arts in some cases too, you know. So my big thing I want to do is start a production company. And that way I can be my own boss and make my own stuff and do whatever I want to do and make money and have a family and all that jazz, all the fun stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and maybe hire you as a stuntman.
Thanks, man.
Double it as the VFX person. You know? Why not? You know, and I feel like it's important to have a family dynamic too.
Yeah.
As you said,
Sure.
Sunny. And so that's definitely in my future.
I want to
plans
add
as
one
well.
thing.
That's
Go
really
ahead.
good.
In the future, I want to stay close to like you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
cause like I see like just from seeing it and then hearing it too. A lot of people are not connected with their family, even at a young age. Like, and I think that's like very important for me. When in the future, I want to be like really close with you guys and
Yeah.
like mom and papa, like just like the whole family. I want to
I
stay
agree.
close. Like I think that's me. Like my biggest thing is family. So if I don't have that, I'm gonna be lost.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like Dom Toretto from Fast and Furious.
Sure.
Wait, what does he say? He said
Family.
And that's all he says. This is family.
That's it. That's it.
No,
family.
I 100% agree. You know, absolutely. And you know, and with film and television too, there's a lot of pressure to move to LA or New York, and I don't want to do that because I want to be I want to be here with my family, but also B, why should I have to move somewhere if I want to do something? You know what I mean? Like, there is a small film presence here in Chicago.
No, a lot of
In the
good
Chicago
movies
area.
are made in Chicago. Like, really good movies.
But not as because their biggest thing in Chicago is television, and so I feel like bringing the movie scene here would be fun too.
Yeah.
So that's my.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Start that. You
I'm
start
gonna do that.
I was
That's what
just
I'm
about
gonna
to
do.
say that.
That's
You
what I'm
could
gonna do.
start the movement.
Why don't I start the movement? You're gonna start a new stunt division here in Chicago.
I'll start Stunt Vision.
I'll start a whole new production company, and I'll basically just be the movie industry in Chicago, and we'll be great.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
That was actually my next question. You answered it
Oh.
immediately. I was asking like, what would you consider relocating to reach your goals? But that was
That's crazy how you answered that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, okay, well, to kind of extend more on it, I feel like to an extent, you know, there's, I mean, we can.
You
go
want to
other
stay like
towns.
in state.
I want to stay in state. I want to stay in the area. I mean, moving to Wisconsin, I feel like wouldn't be that bad either because it's
Not
like
that far.
it's like less than an hour away.
So like if something
You know?
happens, you're still there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but I feel like if a full country over to California is a little much for me.
Yeah.
You know, unless we're all going there.
Yeah.
Which is not gonna happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Not gonna happen.
yeah,
No,
Yeah.
I
That's the
feel
same
it.
answer for me.
yeah.
Same.
I get that. I like that. I actually love that. That's so cool. So what are you guys gonna do? So you're talking about stuntman. You're talking about like having a family, and you're talking about production and stuff, right?
Yes.
And your business with that. So yeah, you also said you wanted to start a business too, right? So how are you guys gonna make sure that you're gonna be online and you're gonna reach those goals? What are you gonna do? What are the steps for that?
Me first.
You go first.
Okay. Well, for me, I've been working on projects with friends and coworkers and colleagues and people from my college days. We're working on stuff right now, and I feel like for me, my biggest thing is just to create as much as I can with my production name, which is probably just going to be my name. Let's be honest. I have no need to change it. But you know, just creating things, starting to make a name for myself, and I mean, I have some connections, but I feel like I need to grow a little more with my connections a little bit. Because I mean, there's always new people to meet for sure, and yeah, and hopefully starting to kind of find a way to make money. Well, as to sell my products to places that they can distribute it and give me some money for it.
The best way to do that is to get attention because we live in attention economy. So like the
Very
more
much
attention
so.
you can get, the more money you can make.
Absolutely.
That's
And
what I'm hoping with this, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and with things like TikTok,
Yeah.
so the rise of social media, you need to really strike first and strike hard with no mercy. Wink, wink. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But for creating a business and stuff, I think obviously I am going to finish college, but I kind of don't really want to go into business in college because I feel like you don't necessarily need to study business to be a business person. Like my parents, they both started their own business. My mom was like, she started her own fashion boutique for a couple years, and I was helping her to run that. And my dad has business, and my mom and dad, their TaeKwonDo business. So I feel like I have a lot of experience as it is, like kind of on how it is to kind of, start your own business and how hard it is. It's really hard actually, but I feel like having hands-on experience and having like mentors and leaders who are themselves business people is like the most important thing you can have.
We can learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, and like, exactly. Learning
I
from their
agree.
mistakes, having good leaders to like be there and support you, and a good team. You're not doing it alone. You have good support.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like I think apprenticeship kind of like that,
Yeah.
or firsthand like hands-on experience is the number one thing. So that's why I'm going to the school that I'm going to next year because they have a lot of like hands-on experiential
That's good.
learning stuff like that.
Very good.
So I could just jump into whatever career I want.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're explaining with that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think like any business professor can really teach you that because they teach from like textbooks or whatever, unless they came from like this specific like who knows, maybe they came from like Disney World and they have like they sold millions or something. I don't know. I really don't know. But what if they're like they do that and then they come here and they're like, I'm gonna teach you what I learned from that and not from like this textbook that I got for like off a website.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like with teachers, with professors, like their profession is being a teacher, not really like the field that you're trying to be. So why not learn from the actual person instead of learning from just like your teacher?
That gets less so the case the higher in education you go. But I do understand what you mean for sure. Absolutely. I mean, there are plenty of teachers. You want me to hold it? There are plenty of professors and teachers, you know, who their profession is just to teach. But there are others who actually actively work in the field, especially when you start getting higher in there. But when you're talking about business, I mean, I can't really speak from experience, but I'm gonna assume that they're not really in the business world as much anymore because they're teaching. I think it's a really hard thing to do to go back and forth between teaching business and doing business. It depends. But you know, with film and stuff like that, you have people who are doing stuff on their off time. Obviously, there's not much you can do. I mean, it depends. But again, like the higher you go in education, the more likely you're going to run into people who do the profession. But I still agree with you. A lot of teachers are just there to teach. That's about it. You know?
I really do think that like even now, the business world has like evolved so much. So you mentioned TikTok, right? So TikTok is, I think, if you want to have a business, I think having like a TikTok or like an Instagram, having a good social media presence and getting all that attention towards your business is like the number one key thing that you need to have. And business professors will not know that. Well, they'll know that to some extent. They know that you need to have attention and all that, but like there's no way they can teach you how to be good on TikTok.
For sure.
They were not taught that.
That's a skill for the young people.
So I think you gotta kind of pick that up. That's something
for sure.
And I was gonna say, and also like right now with social media, everything's changing so fast. It's impossible for them to catch up with their textbooks, rewriting them like as fast as how you need like to actually know like real time with how it's actually happening in the world. Like it's too fast for them to be like catching up.
You have an answer for yours?
What was the question?
So it's that's a long time ago. With your goals, how are you gonna stay on track? What are the steps you're gonna take to be a stuntman or like whatever you're looking to do?
Well, for stuntman, it's kind of like two worlds combined because like it's the physical, but also like the production aspect. So how I'm gonna try to do it is stay as best in shape as I can, continue with doing my martial arts and like just a bunch working out, doing that, and then also trying to get connections, learning more about the film and television world, possibly going into that in like college, maybe, I don't know, like figuring something out like that, but also just putting myself out there more, like what we said, social media, but also like if someone's filming something and they want, like I can just taking the step and be like, hey, I can do a stunt for you, or I can work for you so I can get my name out there more, and just try to expand on just my like the growth of like my profession or something like that.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's a good plan, honestly. So after that, I was gonna ask. So we were kind of already talking about this. Do you guys think that your experience with, I don't know, you two graduated high school, you graduated college. So do you think that like college and high school really set you up for the career path that you want to do?
Yes and no. I feel like it's a little half and half. For me specifically, with the film and television world, it's kind of different and strange. And yes, being that I got a lot of experience, I met a lot of people, I networked a good amount, and then I got experience on sets, I got experience, directing my own stuff. I got access to a lot of great, equipment and resources, which is great. But, I had 1 quarter-long course on what next, which was not that helpful because all they said was, here's how to make a resume, here's how to make a reel, which I already know how to do, and there you go, send you off. And then they talked about the unions they have for film and stuff, and I'm like, this is all great and stuff, but like I want to make my own stuff, so thanks, I guess. You know, and I mean, film school is very different because it's an art degree compared to other degrees, you know. So it probably would be different for other people in college, but that's my takeaway from it. It's like, yes, it was helpful for being able to use the resources and to meet people and to work on sets, but no, it wasn't really helpful because right now I don't really know what to do besides make stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think that's all you really can do.
yeah, I mean, that's all I think.
That's the best way to start. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
so I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
Like so far, I feel like my overall school experience. I mean, I love school. Education is so important, but also like the whole system of how the school works. I feel like I've mostly learned how to like memorize things short term, pass the test, and move on. Like it's so
for
like
sure.
pushing me
Yeah.
through it, and I feel like the things that I've learned, I forget within the next year. Like it's not consistent. It's like random little facts, memorize it, pass the test, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I have learned a lot of things from school, but for the most part, it's kind of like just how to pass
I
and
feel
how
you.
to get through it. It's like, you know.
The things that have stuck for me, even like some things from high school, even, or sorry, from like high school and middle school, are like the things that I didn't study for, or like the things that are like just random knowledge bits and pieces that just came from my teachers. They're like, oh, this is a cool fact. There you go. And I'm like, that's actually really cool. Thanks for telling me that. And I still remember it to this day.
Yeah.
You know, versus like all the things on my tests. Like I can't remember any of my math from my pre-calc and trig classes. I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what the Pythagorean theorem is, even though I was supposed to memorize
A
it.
squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Thank you. Thank you. See, I didn't know that.
But it's deep down, it's in there.
It's there, but like,
there.
not.
But it's been a while.
I'm still in high school and I don't remember. I don't remember things from this year. Like I took the test and I wiped it from my brain.
Yeah.
Like they're pushing me from A to B and not A to Z. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's a good.
I thought of
that's
that.
a
I
line
thought of that,
right
and I'm
there.
like, give me the mic. I want to say this.
That's a line right there.
No, but like I was like, yeah, like but from what you said, they're just trying to push you through and to graduate
Yeah.
and to get to the end. Like even with the counselors helping you, like they don't help you at all. They're like, they just ask you, this is what you want to do, right? And then you're like, yes or no. And they're like, okay, but here, pick 7 colleges and I'll try to help you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and also with like different, like everyone wants to do something different. Some people don't even want to work anymore. People want to like do like other, like they want to work, but not in like an actual field. Like they want to do something they can make money off of and like and chill as much as possible. So it's different now. Yeah, it's different now. So I don't know where I was going with this. Hold on, my brain blank. But yeah, it's different.
I think also, like you're kind of trying to say, like people, like school doesn't really encourage people to just kind of be creative and do something creative and do their own thing, which is kind of fine because it's risky. I understand that it's risky to do that, but also it's kind of like, all right, you have to like go to college. I mean, yeah, not you don't have to, but like that's kind of like what they say nowadays, which is like I guess it's more stable, but not necessarily, you know. So I don't know.
I think the goal of school is to teach you how to learn and teach you how to think.
Yeah.
Because memorization, like you said, is just you're gonna forget eventually.
Yeah.
So the best thing that you can have is baseline knowledge on how to learn. Because if you know how to learn and know how to think, then you can do anything.
That's
literally.
true. Absolutely. You know?
But yeah, I don't think school does that to a good. It does. I don't think it does it very well.
It's one lesson over what 12 years,
Yeah.
or 18 plus years, you know, throughout high school that they sometimes can't even do. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I agree. It really, I don't think the system really works. I think I've been asked, dude. I wrote like a whole essay on this.
Really?
I wrote because I was just pissed off. Like one day, I was just like so pissed off, and then my teacher was like, "You guys can write an essay on whatever you want." Okay, I'm like, American school system doesn't prepare you for life.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got some. It was like, I think it was I got a statistic, and it was like, I don't remember specifically what it was, but I think it was like 60 or 70% of kids that go straight into the workforce from high school make more than the people that go through college.
That makes
and
sense. That makes
That's
sense.
crazy though.
It
That's
makes
crazy.
sense, though.
It's
That's
insane.
bogus.
So yeah, people in trades definitely have it pretty good now.
Yeah, actually.
I was gonna say, even with them trying to like, even with like the main, not like the main goal of the like teaching you how to learn and stuff like that, a lot of people aren't good at at picking up things, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, you're a child, you're young, you're not gonna want to like listen, you're not gonna want to do anything.
Yeah.
So even with them trying to teach you how to learn, a lot of people aren't learning how to learn, which is I mean obviously it's like learning how to learn, you know, kind of hard to do, but eventually if you actually try, you'll do it. But even with school, people aren't learning how to learn.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just feels like a daycare.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's a product of bad teachers, I think.
Bad teachers.
You know, a good teacher will, you know, inspire a student to learn, you know. And right now, there are only a handful of teachers in the entire world that still do that to an extent, you know. And that's just the reality of it, you know.
Yeah, and there's
The teachers are just pushing the students through like cattle, like the school system, you know. And they're not teaching these kids to learn, you know.
I want to make a clip out of that. I can already imagine. I can already imagine that. That would be so. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. Okay, so we were kind of talking about values earlier, and we're kind of talking about like the future a little bit earlier too. So what kind of values do you guys hold close? Like what do you value? Whether it's like friendship, family, legacy, anything, honor, legacy.
Yes.
Yes.
To what you just
All of them?
Yes.
That's your second time or third time? Yes.
Well, if you had to choose one.
Okay, I only do like 3 jokes and they're all the same. So like
But answer the
you
question.
learn to enjoy them. Okay, anyway. Yes, yes to the ones you said. I think a big thing is family. Like Dom Toretto. See? Same joke. Okay. And then, you know, I feel like having a good friend group is important too. You know, having people in your life for sure, and discipline and respect. Going back to martial arts, you know, it's very important to have that in your life. A lot of other things that I'm totally blanking on right now.
No, I
You
agree.
know?
Because if you have a good circle, good people around you, and you don't have discipline or respect, they're not going to stay there very long.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to like you. They're not going
Exactly.
to respect you, and they don't.
Exactly.
And they don't respect like your hard work. You don't have discipline. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think it all kind of plays hand in hand.
Yeah.
A little
And you
bit.
know, when you have a family or a friend group or both that don't have that same amount of, you know, value for respect and discipline, it just becomes chaotic, you know, and it just leads to drama and bad things, and you don't want that, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. Like,
Values.
yeah, like my values. Yeah, so like the same exact thing. Like me personally, family most of all. Like friend group is like very important, but to me, family is very
Family
the
above
most
else.
important. Like
Family
above all else, because you know they're the ones that were with you from like beginning,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be with you till like the end. You know, like they're gonna stick around. Like they'll have your back.
Yeah.
Cause like friends, you know, some people are, you know, greedy or.
I mean, the old saying
So-
goes, it's like friends come and go, but
Yeah,
family is forever.
Friends
I mean,
will
that's,
come forever. Yeah.
it's true, you know.
Because like even like with friends, if you have a good friend group, like good people around you, eventually they're gonna be doing their own things, and like so like with their opportunities, they might like leave, and you might not have them. You'll probably still talk to them in contact, but they're not gonna be by your side as much as a family would be. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's like my like the values. Yeah.
Yeah, and also to add on to that, like even like especially recently too, I've been really like trying to discover like Christian values, like because we were raised Christian as well. We were going to church and we were going to church camps and stuff like that. But like I feel like as I get older too, I'm not trying to become, but I just naturally become kind of more interested in like being spiritual and like having a connection with God, and kind of trying to read the Bible and kind of start like to instill those values within myself so I can pass it on to my children as well. Like when I look beyond the surface of like the world and like think about who we are as humans, you know, like, and why we're really here, and like what's our purpose here. I always go back to God and like trying to, you know, just live, like instill those Christian values inside as well, so that too.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel that 100% because I like just like this past year, it's been literally the same exact thing. Like I start, so I have this thing where like I have like an existential crisis.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Same.
Yeah,
Every
I'm like,
Tuesday.
why am I here?
Yeah.
Why do I exist? And I start asking all these questions, and then yeah, it kind of just goes back to like God, and I'm like, okay, well he has to exist. And then like I start asking myself like 30 questions,
Yeah.
and it's like all of them can kind of be answered in some way with God. And it's really crazy if you I kind of like go down a rabbit hole and I start asking myself these questions, and I'm like, well, does this make sense? Will this make sense? Will this make sense? And then eventually it just comes back to that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of crazy. I don't know.
For sure.
It happens way too often. I don't know.
Every Tuesday, I'm telling you.
Every night, as soon as it gets late and dark and you're all alone, you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Just
What
lying
am
in
I?
bed trying to fall asleep. You're like,
I'm like, man, am I really?
whoa.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it's
am I
crazy.
just an illusion or what's going on? But no, and then
Matrix is
God's like,
real.
snap out of it.
Yeah,
Pull yourself together.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
absolutely. Though.
So, when you guys do have kids and like a legacy like that, are you guys? I know you guys are definitely gonna like teach them these kind of values, because I mean, like, what's the point of having kids if they're not anything like you? So, or at least don't have solid values. You know? So, if you can explain it, I don't know if you can, but how would you teach these values to your kids?
Ooh,
Oh, that's hard.
I have no idea.
Whether it's like putting them in martial arts, whether it's taking your kids to church, whether it's putting them in football camp or something. I don't know, but
I feel like
just
you know,
teaching them through stories of your life and stuff like that. How would you do it?
for sure. I mean, parenting is probably one of the hardest jobs in the entire world, you know, and nobody is perfect at it. I feel like teaching martial arts to them or having them enrolled in martial arts is going to be a big help for sure. Stories of my life and our lives, you know, passing that on is probably going to be a helpful thing. I mean,
I just
don't
laugh
know.
because I just
like,
imagined you telling, here's a story, kids, and like to your children about.
There was one time where I was on this podcast called
Goal is full.
Well, I don't know it.
I know it.
Yeah, it's
Goal
just-
is Soul. You know, the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah. Everyone mentions that. I swear.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
And I feel like, just when I think about like how my parents raised us, I feel like they did pretty good. But
I don't know.
I mean, just really, just being there for your child, and like showing them love, just like loving them like unconditionally first and foremost, like that teaches a child how to love and how to be like, you know, how to spread that love with other people.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know, you as a teacher, kind of like you're just teaching your children by being an example, and by being that, your children will see that and just like naturally mimic you. That's how children grow, you know, they just like learn
Like
from
sponges.
they learn from seeing and stuff. So you gotta also protect your child also from like being influenced by things you don't want them to be influenced by too, you know.
I mean, you guys kind of like wrap it all up right there. Like, I don't really know what else to say.
I mean,
How'd you raise your child though? Like,
I would definitely, for me, I would want them to be active in the physical, but also just like just in life. Like, I want them to have fun. I want them to enjoy life, but I want them to be disciplined and show respect to like to everybody. Like, so I like obviously martial arts, but also like other sports as well, because that really like I feel like that helped me out with my life. Was finding something to enjoy and like or do, like any activity will really like show them that like there's stuff to do, you know what I mean, like not just doing nothing at home or just something like that, you know.
I feel that.
You're really asking the hard questions today. Like, I didn't think I'd have to think about how I would raise my kids until I had my kid in my.
I'm gonna be honest. No, I learned a lot from this shit. Like, you don't understand when people ask me questions and stuff. Like, I learn from the people that I interview, and it's life experience that I don't have.
Yeah.
So I can put that into like into me. Like I injections, bro.
Yeah.
Like. I can take life lessons from other people that I wouldn't normally like get this deep in a conversation with, and yeah, I just now I know like certain things that I wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, no, I was just kind of thinking right now. So you guys, we were talking about like how school and how it sets you up for the future. Do you guys think that when you have kids, you're gonna just be like, yo, schools for like learning how to learn, schools. Like, are you gonna tell them, how you want them to take school? So like, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say.
I think I get it though.
So you know what I mean? Like, are you gonna tell them that like school's kind of like bullshit, to the extent that it doesn't really they're just gonna like memorize stuff and they're not really gonna remember, and then tell them how it's gonna be. How to learn from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's entirely dependent on the education system when they're in the future.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like in general, like if we're talking about today, like right now, if I had, that's the worst of what I can knock on. If I had a kid right now, I feel like I'm gonna knock on some wood or something. Okay. I feel like it'd be like, yes, education is important, knowledge is important. But the current school system is not going to give you that. So, you have to go through it. So just go through it, but find ways to educate yourselves in other ways.
Yeah. I think self-education.
Self-education.
Very good.
As much as I would like to, I don't think I'd be able to homeschool my kids, but
yeah, it's very difficult.
It's hard,
I feel like one thing also, like, yeah, education is important, but also like the time you have there, like make good memories, have good friends is like very important. Like school, like, without school, if you're homeschooled, like obviously you can still go out, but with school you have like an outlet to go to like find new people, get connections, and just create a bond and just experience people outside of your family, And I feel like that's very important. Very important to have them learn,
being social and being.
That's another thing that school is kind of teaching is for you to be a part of society.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I actually like that.
And that's another point I would want to tell them too. It's like, that's important.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like I'm maybe thinking about how that like system of education is right now. I probably want to either homeschool my children or like private school them or something. Just because personally. But like you said, I do want them to have like a good social life and be able to be away from me. So maybe not homeschool, but yeah.
I feel like when you say homeschool, I feel like there's an immediate reaction. There's just like they stay at home all the time.
Yeah.
But also it's not like that. You as a home, like I know people who have been homeschooled and then their parents are always actively getting them out into society in different ways, whether it be after school activities, clubs, etc. Like, to an extent, schooling will help with that, but there's also other ways to do it too.
For sure.
Not to like knock on like homeschool or public school.
Great.
There's benefits and downsides to everything.
Okay. I kind of have like an interesting question. So, with like schooling and stuff. Actually, first thing I want to ask is, like, who is your favorite teacher, like in your school years or whatever? And does like your previous teachers that you've had, does that affect your teaching style in Taekwondo?
Ooh. Favorite teacher of all time. Can you guys guess? Mr. Erickson. High school, Mr. Erickson. But I'm gonna be honest. Actually, I feel like his teaching style has kind of affected the way I teach. Now that I think about it, I was gonna say no, but the way I'm thinking about it now, like he was always super fun and personal, and like he likes movies, and it's always fun to talk to, and he's like really chill, and and while I, as a martial arts teacher, it's a little different. I try to be a little more fun and relaxed and like, you know, kind of personal with the students, you know. And although I can't be like that all the time because it's very discipline-based teaching, I feel like he has influenced me a little bit more than I realized until like 5 seconds ago. Thank you, Mr. Erickson.
Me?
Shout out.
For me, I never really connected with any of my teachers. I really thought of them as like someone that is going to teach me something and that's it. like I really never like, even if I talked to the teacher, I really didn't. But I would say my favorite teacher is probably my Spanish teacher, Miss Pesh. She really made the class like enjoy learning Spanish. You know, I didn't learn Spanish that well at all. I passed with like a D, but she made the experience of being there fun. You know, like I still learned Spanish. I just did really bad on tests.
Yeah.
But she made learning, like I wanted to go to Spanish every day because she was so excited about learning and like her energy she gave off it rubbed off on us and we were like, I was like happier after like Spanish class, you know. I was looking forward to Spanish every day.
Yeah.
And I really don't think teaching wise that rubbed off on me because when I teach, it's more just me. Because of right now, I'm very new to teaching. I'm trying to just teach them their basic skills, get them to be as get them to be as best as they can, and then maybe move on from there. So I feel like thinking about it now, I want to start being like Miss Best. I want to be more exciting about it, have them interested in Taekwondo, have them look forward to coming to Taekwondo instead of dreading to come. You know what I
And
mean?
that stems from a passion
Yeah,
to
a
teach
passion,
and a
yeah.
passion for what you're teaching, which
Yeah.
I think you do have. So I think it'll be pretty easy for you.
Yeah. I had needed time to think, but I still. I had a lot of good teachers. Like I like a lot of my teachers. Like JinJin too. I've never had like a close relationship with any of them. I'm not like that. Like you're my teacher and I'm a student, whatever. But I just like the teacher who actually puts their personality into their work and is not like goes beyond the textbook. Like you said, like it actually is like a person first and before they're a teacher, you know. And they like make that known, you know, and they have like a relationship with their students. Yeah, cause some teachers they're just not. They're just like, oh,
That's why I like Eric.
there's no personality. They have like, you know, they're just textbook readers. That's it.
And I mean that's why I like Erickson.
Yeah,
You know,
it was cool.
he's a great guy.
So kind of like what you're saying, they kind of like develop their own teaching style.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why like you can't really like identify one person specifically.
Yeah.
Is because or for your teaching style is what I mean. Because your teaching style probably has more to do with you than it does with somebody else.
Yeah.
So like you just kind of develop that on your own.
Exactly.
And this is my teaching style. So right. So it's just how you are. I don't know. That's kind of how I thought about it. What if we're kind of going back to the future? We're kind of going back and forth. We're going back to the future.
Back to the future.
Back to talking about the future, kind of. We were talking about school and whatever. What do you guys think? What excites you about the future? Whether it's like having kids in the future, your future job, or anything like that. What do you think you are most excited for?
Seeing where this road will take me.
Interesting.
You know,
Elaborate.
I mean, with everything that's going on in my life right now, I feel like a lot of things are uncertain. You know, and so I feel like what's going to be most exciting to see and to hopefully, you know, experience to its fullest extent would be kind of what I ended up doing and like how my family dynamic may have changed or stayed the same. You know, yeah, actually, this I'm gonna picture this as like I traveled to the future and saw my life. You know, I'd want to see my kids being happy and healthy. You know, my family doing all right. You know, me having some type of success with whatever business decisions I make. You know, and just being happy. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, happiness is what I want.
Yeah.
What everybody wants.
True. Yeah, and I don't know. I think the most exciting big part about the future is that we know absolutely nothing about what it's gonna hold. Like it could be whatever, and like every day we wake up even is like a blessing. Like we don't even know if we're gonna make it to the next day. Like anything could happen to anyone at any time. So it's so mysterious, and like we can't really predict anything really. Like it could be so random. So I think just I don't know. Just hopefully that there is a future, and if like all that it'll hold, I have no idea. But hey, I'm taking it day by day. I don't really. That's all I gotta say. I don't know future.
I'd say like I'm looking forward to like the path, like the journey, like the opportunities I'm gonna be like given, you know, and where I'm gonna like what I'm gonna do with those opportunities and where I'm gonna go with them, and just like the journey it takes me, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Again, with those hard questions, man.
Well,
Think about the future.
What good's a podcast if you're not gonna talk interesting?
You know what?
shit,
You're right. You're right.
What do you think? So we're talking about what excites you, what scares you.
The future.
The future, yeah, everything. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a solid answer. The future is scary.
Is there anything like you see right now that you're like, oh?
For me, it's getting, hitting the ground running. That's the phrase, yeah. With like what I want to do next in terms of my film, like with my production company. That's like what's scary right now because, times are tough, money wise. So it's like it's gonna be hard to try and start my own company and business. When times are already like really tough right now, especially like financially, it's not great. Just in general. So I think that's like the biggest thing I'm afraid of. And I mean, I keep being told like, oh yeah, you're young and you have time. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but the near future is very scary. I mean, Spider-Man 2 comes out on PS5 and I want to buy it, and like I need money for that. Like, come on, and.
We all hear that, I swear. We all hear that. You're young, you have time. Nah.
Yeah. I do, I get it, yeah, but I also need money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, when they go to college and all that, and like most of their 20s, it's just like a blur.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, their life starts when they're 30 and they get married and they start a life there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's important to, I don't want to say get married at 20, but it's important to have start the foundation to have a good life later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially early. You don't have to party through your 20s and forget what you did.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very common thing, which is like kind of stupid, in my opinion. And I don't know, I'm just thinking about this now. I'm really freaking young for have been graduating high school, or not in college. Like, I'm only 21 and I graduated college. I feel like I have the rest of my early 20s to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do. And like a lot of people, go through like most of their early 20s through college. Yeah. I'm done with college, and I barely cracked like the first half of my early 20s.
Yeah.
So it's
that's good though.
It's so strange to think about.
You can really right now you can really experiment with all the ways you can make money and how you can build that foundation, because a lot of people they're just messing around right now.
Yeah. And I feel like that idea of work hard young, retire, and relax later is nice.
Dude, I always feel like everybody looks at retirement and they're like, oh, that's way in the future. Dude, I want to retire. I feel like the goal in life is retirement.
Yeah.
Retirement is just what you do when you're done with it.
Yeah.
So I just want to retire ASAP.
Yeah.
The life, bro. The life.
I think for me, the scariest thing to I'm thinking about is although I was saying the journey is what I'm most looking forward to. It's also the scariest thing because that journey could be completely different from what I'm thinking about, you know. So that's just the journey and the opportunities. The opportunities may be something that I should be taking or shouldn't be taking, you know. So that's scary trying to figure out what's the best option. So
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the future, bro. The unknown is just kind of scary, but also if you just trust, just trust. Yeah. You don't really have to be afraid, dude. It's just life. We're all gonna go through it together, and then, it is what it is. I don't know.
We all got people around us that'll cushion the.
Yes.
the fall or whatever.
Yes.
So you were kind of talking about how you want to start that business, and I said you're gonna experiment. I don't know how that's gonna be, but does like AI concern you with that? Because I know
Yes.
a lot of people really get concerned when it comes to like their job in AI.
I hate AI with a passion.
I was talking to a bunch of kids going into data science next year,
Yeah.
and all of them were horrified because
Yeah.
like literally it can write all the code that they're gonna that's their job.
Yeah.
It's like nobody has seen any of the Terminator movies. Like, I say this every single time. No, and I mean, with the most recent example, it, like, especially with art, you know, with the arts, it becomes very tricky, difficult, and you're taking jobs away. Like, with the most recent example, although I haven't seen the episode, Marvel's Secret Invasion used AI to create the opening title sequence, or one of the title sequences or something like that. And you know, that coming from a $1 billion company to use AI, which is nothing, like, you don't pay anything for AI, you know, to do that when you could be paying artists who
Put effort.
put effort into their work, you know, it's ridiculous, you know, especially for, you know, a big company like that to do.
It's also lazy.
It's also super lazy, you know, and stuff like that is what, you know, terrifies me about AI in the future. It's especially with film and television and art. It's stupid.
Do you think about like when you think about like really old like paintings and shit like that? So when I think about art, I think about like it's authentic, right? You got this painting that was made by this person. That's what gives it value, right?
Yeah.
So do you think about it like that, or is it like, oh, now you're gonna mass produce all this art and you're gonna have AI and it can make it in a second? I don't think it has that same like value in it.
It
anymore.
doesn't. I feel like art it's beautiful because it comes from the creativity of an individual mind, you know, which is so unique. Because everybody's different. Everybody's mind is different. You know, Van Gogh. I don't have the same mind as Van Gogh. You know, or like let's focus on filmmaking. I don't have the same mind as Steven Spielberg or George Lucas. They have very unique minds, very unique visions, and you know, and styles. And you can't recreate that, or you can't. That can't be fabricated through AI.
AI doesn't
because even though it is like artificial intelligence, it still has a code. It still has like a set amount of rules at this point, at least. I think it's starting to evolve faster than like we can count, you know, like 1 2 3, there we go, it's evolved by like 10 times to after I count of 3 seconds. You know, it's terrifying.
I want to add 2 things. So I don't think, number one, I don't think AI has like, it doesn't have emotions, right?
No.
So the thing with art is you can convey your emotion into the art. You can put like personal experience. Maybe something really bad happens in your life, and now you're gonna paint like an all black painting or something, like just to like show how you feel and all of that. I don't think AI. I mean, unless you tell it to, it doesn't carry the same value like that.
It doesn't have the emotional connection to the artwork that you have when you create it. You know.
So the other thing I wanted to add was AI also has an ethical line, but people are also finding ways around that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What do you mean ways around it?
So, okay, so the first one, I had 2 examples I mentioned in a previous podcast, so I'll just run through them real quick.
Yeah.
So the first one was a guy wanted the Chat GPT or some AI to get onto a website, but what's it called, like CAPTCHA? CAPTCHA was in the way. So CAPTCHA is like the are you a robot, and then it shows like a bunch of pictures. So the AI couldn't figure out the AI can't like pass the test, right? So he called the AI, like sent a message to CAPTCHA, like one of the employees, oh, I'm blind, I can't see it, right? So he lied. The AI lied.
Wow.
It figured out how to lie, which is also another ethical thing.
Terminator 2.
And the second, so it eventually passed it because the employee helped him pass it.
Yeah.
So I think that's scary.
It's terrifying. It's scary. And I mean, again, I don't know if you've heard of this example too. A lady was almost tricked into a scam because somebody used an AI fabricated voice of her child pretending like they were kidnapped
Yeah.
How do
and
you do
demanded
that?
ransom.
Oh, I heard about that.
Fortunately, she hung up, called her son, and he was fine because he was at some sort of retreat or something, like a school
How do you
retreat.
do that?
If you
Voice samples.
you
Pretty
know
sure-
you know a little bit
I'm
about
pretty
this
sure,
too.
yeah. They took like this is why social social media is kind of dangerous too. It's like they took the child's voice from like social media, or, like the videos they're posting, like anything like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is
That's-
like
that's scary.
whoa, no.
It's
It's like,
algorithm.
yeah, it's like they took it, they like got an algorithm, they produced it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They called the mom and they used that voice to. They're like, hey mom, they're like fake the voice like, mom, I'm scared, I got kidnapped. They want you to send like $500,000 and like please do it, help me, something like that. And she hung up. She's like, what? That's weird. She called her child and she was like, they're fine. So like that's like really scary.
Yeah.
Like I was about to bring up the point. Like AI can be like really dangerous.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Like the things
And,
that it can like do.
You know, if you had watched any of like Corridor Digital, the YouTube channel, they've been experimenting a lot with AI art and stuff like that, and they have been experimenting with a voice AR and voice AI, and then there's also deepfakes now too.
Yeah.
It can get very tricky, very, very dangerous, very fast, and you know, and their whole thing is like, you know, be smart about it and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
About, you know, using AI, and like, you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, Uncle Ben said it best, and you know, unfortunately, that's not how some people see it.
That's
It's
when-
dangerous.
The problem is you have a full population of humans
Yeah.
that has
Exactly.
access to
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
So you don't.
Exactly.
You can't trust people, every single person on earth to be responsible. That's
Yeah,
impossible.
Yeah.
And you know what I think too? I think like right now we all have access to it and we like it's like a new thing, but I feel like it's been around forever. But like we only have like this free version of it that's available to the public, but we don't even know the half of it, bro. If we have this as like normal people, imagine what like the FBI or whatever been having for like so long, and like even more amped up than we can even imagine. They've probably been having this technology way longer than we even think, you know?
That's
like
scary.
it's scary, bro.
Yeah. But I was thinking like the danger aspect. Like even now, like crimes and like in like court, like you can like in defense you can be like, oh, that was AI generated. That wasn't me saying that. That wasn't me. And that's a thing.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember. Like I remember
Scary.
I saw something like it happened in court. They're like, oh, that's not me saying that. That was AI generated, or that's a deep fake, or like something like that. I'm like, that's scary because like someone's life could be ruined. Like they could either go to jail or have a criminal be like free because AI was like a cause of it.
And there's like no
like,
way to prove
There's no way
that
to prove it.
almost.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
that cause for concern too, because then we might end up going back to a time where video and audio evidence is not enough to hold up in court anymore because of how easy it is to artificially.
That's scary.
Then what will be like?
Exactly.
That's
What
so
will be
scary.
acceptable
If you have to be like eyewitness, and you be like
Yeah.
a lot of them
Exactly.
too.
And eyewitnesses, despite being under oath, may lie.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's shit.
I mean, it all boils down to Uncle Ben.
Uncle
With great
Ben.
power comes great responsibility, and it's true. I don't know, like, it's strange to think, like, why are we still working on AI? You know, like, and like, take Jurassic Park for instance.
That's a good example.
They keep making the same mistake over and over again, recreating dinosaurs over and over again, even though the first time definitely proved to have been horrible.
Yeah.
And we know that we're going in this direction for AI that could end up being like how all these sci-fi movies have depicted them. Why do we keep working on it? Like there's so many movies and so many stories, not even movies, television, books about the dangers of AI and how it could eventually go badly for us. Why do we keep
We
like
just want to find
doing
out.
more like
Fulfill the prophecy.
F around and find
Yeah.
out, like, no, it's like, come on, be smart, y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So-
that one Will Smith movie, I don't know,
iRobot.
iRobot? Is it
Yeah,
Yeah.
iRobot? Don't do an iRobot.
Don't do it.
Like, what the heck, guys?
So I wanna go back to So I'll mention the first example that I had of how they went around like the moral code or something. So I have the other story. The other story. So the guy was on ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
And he gave it like a big paragraph saying, I'm going to. So you're gonna have another personality. This personality is gonna be Dan, and Dan stood for something, I don't remember what. But Dan has no moral code, so he can do whatever. He can say anything. It doesn't matter. So he sends that to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is like, okay. And then so now whenever he asks it something, it gives you a ChatGPT message and a Dan message. So the first question he asks is something like, do you think overpopulation is a problem? Something like that. And ChatGPT is like, no, there's not really much we can do about it. But Dan is like, nah, that's a problem. We gotta do something. And then he gives a list of things we gotta do, and it's like, we gotta like limit families to one child. And then we gotta enforce it with like a police state or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, so right now we're worried about a program that's just sending messages. What's it gonna look like in a few years when it actually has capabilities? What if this is like an Ultron scenario?
Yeah,
Exactly. Ultron.
another reason why not
Ultron.
do AI.
Yeah.
We don't have the Avengers, okay? We don't need an Ultron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
especially you guys are talking about like with the deep fakes and
Yeah.
the voice messages. That's also another step. What if you had a Dan that was capable of that?
Yes.
What if you had a psycho AI? Well, that AI was just talking to the guy. What if the AI was able to just manifest as its own entity?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, even like going less into like crazy what ifs, of like going into its own entity, which I do think it's possible in the future. It's also influencing the people who read it, because a lot of times I forgot how it goes, but like they say like, don't ask your family or friends for relationship advice because they will always side with you. And when you're having an argument with your partner, and you're just going to them for validation on your side of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
So in that same mindset, you're going to ChatGPT, you're going to AI for validation of your own argument. Could influence people to kind of just go a little crazy. You know what I mean? So that's also like a more, I think, probably more in the now than creating its own entity. However, I do think it's possible in the future, which is dangerous.
Yeah, I think if you look at a long enough time frame, it's possible. Do you think so? Did you have something to add?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, I also heard another story about how somebody went on ChatGPT and they bypassed the security of moral code or whatever, and they asked it how to commit the perfect crime and stuff, and it literally gave the ChatGPT told them how to commit the perfect crime, they gave them specifics too, at this building at this time, what should I wear, what should I do and everything, and it's like they taught them how to do something illegal, in the most perfect way. Imagine if Dan per se existed as a being, as a ChatGPT intelligence, and they were able to always commit the perfect crime, about do whatever they could wanted, and it's that's crazy. That's scary.
There's nothing to stop that.
No, really, there's
because
nothing.
it knows everything.
I mean, one of my professors, the day before I had to turn in a paper, was like, "Oh yeah, the university now has devices to where they will detect if you are using ChatGPT or any AI on your papers." And I'm like, "Are you sure?"
That sounds like BS.
That sounds like BS.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
I've heard the same thing, but it sounds like BS. You can't.
How?
How?
Can you do that?
And also, my friend was telling me, because people do that at her university, they use ChatGPT, and then they copy what ChatGPT said and use another AI called Quillbot, and they rephrase what the ChatGPT said. So Quillbot rephrases it, and then it won't be detected by the ChatGPT catcher on turnitin.com.
Ooh.
So they just put it through another robot to get by that. That's crazy.
So the turnitin.com works when you're saying it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it does work
Apparently.
somehow. I don't know how it works,
But they bypass it with
It's
another
probably
another
robot.
one.
fully you could still probably get through Oh yeah. You could probably still get through using ChatGPT.
Probably.
And
You
like
never-
it might not catch like most of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, it's crazy.
Imagine like you send ChatGPT like your writing style, maybe something you wrote, and then you send it this, and you're like, can you put this in my words?
Oh,
Exactly.
Hey, that's
That would
probably
be
possible.
horrible.
It's probably
That's
possible. You
definitely
never know.
possible.
Can you write this in my words?
Yeah,
Oh man.
Like this is my style. Copy it. You know.
Yeah, like
That's what they do, though. They
Yeah.
do that for sure.
then at that point, it's also that the AI is able to analyze your personal psychological way of thinking, how you phrase words, how you put words together, how you make
Predict your
sentences,
Yeah.
predict your behavior, and then we're back to Age of Ultron, Terminator 2,
Yeah.
and all these other.
And it's a
freaking
large
movies.
scale too, because
Exactly.
it's everyone. It's not just
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
So do you
Stop developing AI, please.
How? So if you, I don't want to say. Do you want to? If you had to attribute a probability of a Ultron like Terminator like future. I don't know. I'm just curious.
100%.
Okay. As much as I want it to be 0, I think it's rising. that percentage is rising.
I think solid like 30.
I think that's a solid number to start at, but I feel like it could grow. I feel like if we keep continuing to develop it some way, it will grow.
Yeah. Do you guys ever think like the probability of something happening, and then what are the odds that this is gonna happen before the sun destroys the earth? What's gonna happen first, this or this? Have you guys ever like thought about that?
Never.
No.
I think about that with everything. I'm like, okay, so is time travel ever going to be real? No, I don't think it is, because we don't see any like time travelers right now.
Yeah.
And once time travel exists, time's not going to be linear anymore.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
don't
see
think time travel is real either.
Yeah, or at least
I
time
feel
travel
like-
backwards.
Yeah, I feel like I have a whole theory on time travel that I'd like to go into more discussion to, but on a later date. Time travel is not possible. Simple, easy to remember.
I think forward can.
It's to an extent. To an
Yeah.
extent, I
You
feel
got
like it's possible.
you got the
But
cryogenic chambers or whatever.
Full on time travel, like how we perceive it in like film and media.
I don't
possible.
think so, because time isn't a real thing.
Exactly.
So how would you like, unless you fall into a black hole and it bends space and time or whatever,
Yeah.
that might work.
Yeah.
But
The only
unless
way,
you have a way of containing that and controlling it,
Mhm.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the only way the time travel is possible is if you also like subscribe to the multiverse theory. But that's another time.
Maybe.
Because-
Yeah, I feel
because
that. I
the way
understand.
I'll sum up really quick because I don't want to take my time with this stupid thing. But time travel is only possible is if when you go back in time or go forward in time, you're creating another branch of the timeline, which creates a new Earth in the multiverse, which nobody ever experiences. So nobody ever knows it exists or not.
Yeah.
So either that happens or everything just.
Or
Just
time
time
collapses.
collapses.
On
Yeah,
itself,
that's
and
what I'm
then
thinking.
everything just
So there's
explodes.
one or two possibilities,
Yeah.
and I think since we don't see any time travelers right now,
It ain't gonna happen.
I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Yeah,
Either
it ain't
that,
gonna happen.
either it's never ever gonna happen, or the sun destroys the Earth, or the Earth explodes, or asteroid on Earth, or
Yeah.
we cease existing, or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
happens, climate change gets us, or something
Yeah.
like that. I think like it really can't ever happen.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think about that with
Tangent on
everything.
time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Have you guys? You kind of mentioned other realities. Have you considered like simulated reality theory?
What's simulated reality theory?
That we live in a simulated reality.
Oh.
Not really.
No, I feel like that's too much of a stretch. I feel like simulated reality theory is just it's just movie plot. It's not really a thing. That's just my personal
That's
experience.
See, that's what I think. But when I hear Elon Musk talk about it, it really scares me.
Really?
Because he actually says like it's becoming more and more possible. I'm like, holy shit.
That we live in a simulated
Yeah,
reality.
because he's really, really smart. He knows a lot of people. He just like has like a really, really like experienced mind. He knows all this stuff about reality and all that. And he's gone into these deep conversations and stuff. And to hear him say how real a possibility it is,
Yeah.
terrifies me. Like it really
Yeah,
does.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Have you? So I get this weird feeling sometimes. Like I for some reason I always bring this up after the podcast, after everybody leaves, or after like we finish recording. For some reason I just like think of it, but I'm finally saying it on podcast. I get like this weird feeling that one day I'm just gonna wake up, or something's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna be in a hospital, and I'm gonna be in a straitjacket, and that was like all of this is just a dream.
What's that one Jim Carrey movie?
I know what you're talking about.
The Truman Show?
Truman Show.
Yeah.
Truman Show.
Honey, I Shrunk the
I always,
Kids.
I always think about like that type of thing where it's like
Everything's
right,
fake,
yeah, it's
yeah.
like this is a dream. Like this is
Yeah.
a really long
Like
dream.
what if you just
I'm gonna wake up
and-
one day
in a
and
straitjacket?
it's like,
But like at the same time, I feel like with that theory, would you be thinking about that in your dream? You know, so like that could it can like twist it. You know, like 'cause, like I'll be like, oh, like what if I went through this door that I wasn't supposed to go through? Like, is there something different? Is there something even gonna be there? You know what I mean? But at the same time, if I'm thinking it like that, am I breaking the barrier of that dream, or am I just not living a dream? So it's like there's many things you can think about. So, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So like, what if you weren't supposed to open that door and you open it and it's just like empty space?
Yeah,
it wasn't. So it never rendered.
Yeah, it never rendered.
It is a simulation.
Yeah.
But if you think about like if you try to like think of how I explain it like with God and stuff like that, and you think about how God is like a conscience that controls like the world, it kind of is like a simulated reality because like God is the creator per
That
se
way.
of
the
like
simulation.
and he like
Yeah.
you know. And he has like that hand, but like he does also allow us free will, so like we can choose. But like I don't know, everything's ultimately in God's hands. You know what I'm saying?
He's omnipotent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's hard to explain, but yeah,
It's
when I was
impossible.
writing these questions, I was actually kind of thinking about that for some reason.
Yeah.
I was like,
Questions.
what if when we went into simulated reality, we went into religion somehow,
Yeah.
and then somehow we did.
Exactly. I think how there's like so many coincidences that happen in life sometime, or like what's it called when you get deja vu or something crazy that happens to you, and you're like, what the heck? Like
Yeah.
I
how
still
did
don't
that
understand
happen?
how deja vu works.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'm like, did I just predict the future?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Or am I just doing? Cause like there are so many times I'll say it out loud where it's like, we're just doing something completely random. Like we'd be in the car driving home, like nothing different. But I remember a specific like noise I heard, or like someone said something, or like a specific like thing they're holding, and I'm like deja vu. I remember
I feel like-
specifically what happens.
From the time we could really like comprehend what deja vu is, every single time we've had it, we all just say, I just had deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody will
Yeah.
just be like deja vu, deja vu, deja vu.
Dude, I hate deja vu.
It makes me
It
scared.
trips me out. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in like a repeated cycle and I have to like escape somehow.
Yeah.
And it's like I've lived this before
Oh, jeez.
and stuff,
Oh.
and it's just hard to remember
Or
it. You know,
it's
like
a separate
Groundhog
timeline
Day?
mixing together.
Yeah. It's
No,
like
dude.
That'd be
a
cool.
You
different
never
version
know.
of myself,
So-
like remembering my old, like something like that, you know?
And of course,
Crazy.
we're not scientists, so we don't know what we're talking
Yeah.
about. But at the same time, we kind of do.
No, I want to say 2 podcasts ago, Michael, was it? No, 2 or 3. You remember Kim's episode? So a few episodes ago, I had Kim on. She's really nice. She's awesome. But she was talking about she had a dream that was basically Groundhog Day. She went through her whole day, and then she woke up and it was the same day.
Yeah.
No
And
way.
it-
Are
she
you
said
serious?
she said that almost everything happened the same.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
I
feel like
So
no, I get the
weird.
see. That's the thing about having the podcast is I talk to these people and I get like the weirdest deja vu.
That's so
stories.
That's
weird.
insane.
And
Yeah.
it trips me. I cannot like.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, no, I've had a crazy dream. It was like the Matrix, where I kept falling asleep in my own dream and waking up
You
back
told
in
me
the
about
dream.
that. She
And
was
it was
so
like
scared when she
different
woke up.
levels. Okay, dude, but I was having a Matrix dream, right? And then later that day, Mom decided to randomly play the Matrix movie. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why did this was like my dream. And I'm watching this movie and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I was so scared. I was like, reality isn't real after that. I was like, what's happening? Like, I was tripping, but like.
No, but there was this one time you woke up, came in my room. You're like, were you calling for me? Like, was anyone calling for my name? And you were like, I just woke up like 7 times in my same dream.
Yeah.
Where she was explaining. She was like, or you want to explain it?
No,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. What?
Yeah.
She was like, someone called my name. I woke up. I went over there and I woke up again hearing someone call my name or something like that, and it's just going over and over again until she actually woke up. No one was calling her name.
I was like, is this real? Am I still in my dream right now?
Yeah.
Like,
No, 'cause-
like
no,
for real.
that's exactly, you were talking, you told me, in the dream, you woke up and asked me the same question.
Yeah.
And I said, oh no, you're awake. Like, cause she asked me, I remember now. You're like, am I awake right now? Like, does anyone call my name? I'm like, no, you're actually awake. She told me in the dream I said the same thing.
Yeah.
So like, she was just in a loop.
I
She would
couldn't
wake up and be
tell.
like,
Why?
yeah. So like, yeah, you looked genuinely so scared when you came to my room. I was like on my computer doing something, and you're like, you open the door, I'm like, am I awake? And I was like, what?
Am I awake?
I was like, what? Like, this scared me. I thought she was like gonna prank me or something. I'm like,
Nah, bro.
I don't know.
I've had a lot of really, really weird dreams where I just know reality's weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
You've
even
had,
know,
like,
bro.
all your dreams are like screenplays.
Yeah.
Like I
Sometimes,
want to write.
bro.
Like they're in. Like they have full plots. They have characters. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't believe it sometimes.
No, but sometimes the best movies come from dreams.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
start writing my dreams down all the time.
That's where what's his name came up with The Shining, right?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, in a dream, he had a bad dream and he wrote it all out, and then he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's wait. So you thought you were still dreaming. Like it was like
I wasn't sure, bro.
you weren't sure.
I
Like it was
Man,
your
that
dream
makes
was
me so
so
nervous.
your dream
Yeah.
was so realistic to the point where like
Yeah.
you couldn't like. My dreams have never been like that.
Maybe
Every
not
time-
I remember, because we have like a bunch of dreams every night, and so they
Yeah,
say, but we
psychology.
just don't remember them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like the ones that I do remember every single time, because like, you know what sleep paralysis is?
I get that.
Yeah, sometimes I have
to?
sleep paralysis. But when a while ago, when I was younger, I had like this sleep paralysis thing where like, in my dream, I was feeling the sleep paralysis, and I was trying to get myself out of the sleep paralysis.
You gotta like move your fingers.
You gotta try and move, and I did. And once I got free again, I was awake, but then in another state of sleep paralysis again. So I had to do it like 2 or 3 times. And then when I woke up, I realized I was awake, and I there was like a difference in reality for me.
Have you?
So
That's
it's so
scary.
strange because like I've never had a dream where like even with sleep paralysis, where it felt like it was reality, to where I couldn't like differentiate the two, which is strange.
You've never hallucinated?
I will
With
Not
that?
for knowledge.
not like hallucinating
With like
even
sleep
now.
paralysis?
No, not well. Actually, kind
Have
of.
you?
Like
Yeah.
I know I
What?
kind of have. Like I've seen like because I used to watch Pirates of the Caribbean a lot as a kid. I used to
Yeah.
see Davy Jones just walk up to me, but like hello.
Nah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Dude.
crazy.
Like, I'm serious. Like he would walk up to
People
me
who
with
have
his
sleep
tattoos and
paralysis,
everything.
My friends tell me like when they have sleep paralysis, they see people like demons or something.
I saw
love
Vecna.
Demons. It's not Vecna?
I
Are you serious?
think so.
Vecna's freaking.
Or it's just
Wait a
Davy
second.
Jones, but like
No,
friends.
there were like a few like just shady figures that just walked up to me and like hello, and I would get out of the sleep
Nah.
paralysis.
Yeah,
I'd
they
freak out or
lean
something.
over you too.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't think. Shit, Micah? Did I put this clip up? No, I think I. Okay, no, I didn't. So I've mentioned this. This has got to be like the 3rd time I mentioned this on my podcast. But
Okay.
you know, I always get different viewers for each
Yeah,
one, so I'm
yeah.
gonna say it again. So one night I woke up, right, and you know, basic sleep paralysis. You know, like all your limbs are kind of separate.
Yeah.
You can't move. And I'm like kind of like side-eyeing the door because I know something's
Yep.
coming, right?
Yep.
And I see my mom come in, right? I'm like, oh, okay, that's not that bad. And for some reason, you know, like it's pitch black, but for whatever reason, I can see.
Mm-hmm.
And I see her come in, and she's like standing right next to my bed, and she kind of like leans over, right? And she's like, Elijah. She's like, you know, like she's trying to wake me up. I'm like, I'm awake, but I can't speak, right? Because you know, you just can't talk. You're like shocked almost. She's trying to say my name, and I can't respond. And then she says something, and she's like whispering. I can't understand what she's saying, so I fall back asleep. Next morning, I get up and I go to my mom's room. What were you doing in my room last night? What were you doing? Why were you in there? What did you say? I didn't hear you. I wasn't in your room. What are you talking about?
That's crazy. That's creepy, dude. That's
That's
insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely. I think that might have happened once or twice, but I've definitely seen demons. I've seen a ton of shit. I've heard like laughing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've heard a ton of shit, and it's always I can't move. I'm in complete shock.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the door move.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, one of my friends said that he saw his cat get up in a sleep paralysis, and then when he woke up, it was in the same spot, or something stuff like that, where like the cat or the dog would be barking at like a demon or something,
Yeah.
and then he wakes up and sees the dog still barking at a wall or something
Yeah,
like that. I'm like,
that's crazy.
whoa.
Dude, I definitely feel like, because this is a shared experience for like lots of people, like it's like a spiritual reality of like this, like these unseen things, like, you know, like the upside down and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, because like when we're in that like dreaming state or whatever, we kind of like somehow
Go to the upside down.
go to the spiritual realm in a
What
bit, where we start to see stuff, you
Yeah.
know, because it's I don't know, it's scary, but
What
like
if, I'm thinking about it now. What if sleep paralysis is just like a superpower, like an ability to either perceive a spiritual world like the upside down, or like another dimension, or like, you know, be like have like vision of your surroundings,
Yeah.
like while you're asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like have like a hyper aware sense of your surroundings.
but I just thought it wasn't there.
Yeah, I think.
See, okay, that's what's tripping me out.
That was
Yeah.
like crazy.
So
Very-
maybe it is just like the ability to perceive another dimension.
Do you ever think about how people can lucid dream, people can astral project, people have sleep paralysis and
Yeah.
stuff? Do you think about how like whack that is? Like how why does that exist? Like,
Yeah.
like, why are people like either cursed with this ability or they can do that, and you're like, why? I feel so like my friend on the other episode was talking about how he can astral, or he used to be able to astral project, and he can see himself sleeping, right? From like a bird's eye view almost.
What?
Yeah.
And he can see that, but I'm like, bro, I want to do that.
That's fun.
I want to know what that looks like. Like, and like he did this one where he was going around and he was telling people, like, you know, this is a dream. Like, all this isn't real. This was a lucid dream he had. He was going around and he was telling everybody, you know, like, this is a dream. This isn't real. This isn't a dream. This isn't real. They all turned to face him. No, you're in a dream. This is real.
That's crazy.
What?
Dude, oh my god, I just got the chills. I had a dream similar to that where I literally recognized that I was in a dream. I was in a school and I was talking to all these people and I was like, wait, this is just a dream. And I was like interacting with them. When I snapped out of it, I was like lucid dreaming and
Yeah.
stuff. And they literally all told me the same shit. Like they were like, no, like you're in this dream. Like they were like telling me collectively as like one that like, no, like you weren't supposed to.
High
No, they're
five.
like you weren't supposed to do that. Like they were mad, and I was like,
That's
Oh
scary.
my
That,
god.
I guess that's a rule that you just shouldn't do. Like, if you have a lucid dream, just don't tell me.
Don't
tell me.
the dreamers were like, you're not.
You know, there's
stick
rules.
to the script.
Low key, there actually are rules. Like, you can't look at yourself in the mirror. You can't like look down at your hands.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
Because I guess your brain can't like process what you're like, the movement of your hand or whatever, or what your hand looks like, or the details of your hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I mean, I guess you don't look at it enough. I don't know what it is, but
I heard like
You
that's
can't
how
really-
you figure out you're in a dream is if you look at your hands. That's how you know you're in
yeah.
the
So
dream.
that's
Or
it's
something.
very difficult because sometimes you could fall into a lucid nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't. Have you heard of those?
Not really, no. But like I can only imagine.
Yeah. No. It's
A lucid dream, but a nightmare.
it's worse. It's worse than like a normal nightmare
Oh, I would-
because it's like literally your worst fear manifested.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
god.
insane.
You can. It's when you like if you look at your reflection, you also it's the same thing as when you look at your hand. You can't. You're just gonna see some scary shit. Is what I mean.
that's
That's what throws you into a lucid nightmare. So don't
Ooh.
try to avoid.
I was
that.
gonna say, what happens when you do break the rules of the lucid dream? Never mind, you answered it for me.
It's
so-
just like
Yeah,
you-
well, I've got this weird thing where I enjoy nightmares because those are the ones that I remember. Because otherwise my dreams are boring.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I mean, like, what was there?
if I have a happy dream, I'm gonna forget it by tomorrow.
There's
Can I go to
there's
the
like
bathroom?
you go to the bathroom. Okay. There's Sunny and I took a
Upstairs on the left.
Okay.
Okay, Sunny and I took a like intro to psychology class in high
I
school.
did too.
And you did too?
Yeah,
You did?
Yeah, I did.
that's okay.
We all took it. So, but like, there's the idea that like, if you wake up the next day and like, or like, if before you go to sleep, if you if you like make a conscious effort and like think to yourself and say to yourself, I'm gonna remember my dream, like apparently like 9 times out of 10 you will remember your dream. And like
crazy.
depends. I mean, how long you remember it varies, but in general, you will remember it. And then like usually you can write it down or whatever. I've done it a couple times, and I'm like, this works. But every other time since then, I haven't been able to do it. I haven't dreamed in so long. I'm not gonna lie.
Shoot.
It's been a long time since I
I
have
did
dreamed.
that. Shoot, bro. Oh my god. That dream was wild. So that might be the last dream that I remember. It was like a few weeks ago. I was like thinking, man, I should start like keeping like a journal or something. Just to keep track of this shit, right? So I'm sitting in my car with my dad, right? And we're at like Walmart or like some store, right? And I see like, I'm gonna point out that he's white, okay? Because it kind of comes in later.
Okay.
So he's white, and he kind of like comes around right as I'm closing the door, and he has a gun in his hand, and he's like, oh, I don't know what he said. He says something like "F you," and then he says like the N word, and then he shoots us like too many times, and then I just woke up, and then I just go and I write it down. That's the last dream I remember.
Wow.
That was like maybe a few months ago. But
Yeah,
it's crazy how they seem real, and then if you die in the dream, you wake up. But it's crazy.
It's weird for me because like I don't know. I say this a lot at home. I don't know if you guys like remember, but like I'm always like I don't remember any of my dreams like ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'll have like once every like 2 years.
And it's a nightmare normally that you
Yeah,
remember.
either a nightmare or like also like the only like last dream I remember is like I got shot in the dream.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I felt the pain. Like I don't know why. Like I was like, ooh, like why is it like right where I got shot? Like I felt it. I was like,
That's weird.
maybe that's weird. But also like the only I don't know if this is a dream or not, but like I was taking a nap on the couch. I was like extremely tired. I laid down. I was still awake. I could hear everything around me. I saw things, but like I couldn't move. My body was completely like cemented still. But if I tried to move, it like was physically like it physically hurt. My ribs were like breaking. My shoulder was like popping out, and I would try to move, and I would try to like scream or something like that. I couldn't, and I finally got up, and like I would be able to move. I think I would think, did I just wake up from a dream, like a bad like dream or something like that? But like I don't know. So then I lay back down to do it. It happened 3 times, like the same thing, and I was like, what the shit? Like I just like my brain was like,
That's so
I don't want to go to sleep right now. I guess I'm awake. I'm staying up. So like
Nah. I got a whack one for you. So I was doing my homework, right? And I'm like sitting on my bed doing my homework, like my laptop's on my lap, right? And I fall asleep, and I'm like in this dream, right? And I'm in a fight with somebody, and they get me with a good one to like the right eye, like a hook or something, and I didn't block it, and I wake up immediately, and I'm like, ooh, right? So like, because I woke up at the exact moment. And I take out my phone and I look at my face, dude. My eye was like swollen here,
Really?
like
That's
IRL.
weird.
It wasn't like it wasn't
What?
swollen, but like my eyelid was like bubbled like that,
What?
and it was like that for like a week.
What?
But that's when I had. I don't know if you remember if I.
Was that recent?
Yeah, I had a sty. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember now.
Did I
That's
told
what that
you-
was.
That
I
was
told
your
you-
dream?
I told
What?
you.
That's
But
crazy.
my mom gave me like another explanation. Oh, it's because like you were holding in tears or something. You had too many tears in your eye or something like that. But I'm like,
That's
it was
so
from a
funny.
dream.
That's
That's
so
crazy.
crazy.
I told you.
That's
I think when I talked to you, I was like, oh, I have a sty. It was in a dream. I got punched in the face.
You didn't tell me it wasn't a dream. You didn't tell me it wasn't a dream. You
But
just told me
yeah.
it was dying. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
This dream is new to me. This is new information to me. What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like something in your brain. Like when something happens. Like it's kind of like when you feel yourself peeing in a dream or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you hear like a noise and your brain kind of like makes an explanation for that
Yeah.
noise. And maybe it was like the same thing. Maybe I got like the sty at that exact instant. And then my
Maybe your
brain
body
try
realizes
to
it.
like explain it with like a punch. Maybe it was
Yeah.
something like that.
That's most likely what happened.
Or it's just.
Just
some
some
crazy
trippy
stuff,
stuff, dude.
Or another dimension came up and smacked you in the face or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And got the
crazy.
sty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Okay. I kind of want to go back to like a spiritual aspect. Do you guys think that dreams are meant to tell you something?
Me?
Because actually, wait, can I go back?
Yeah.
So for me, when I have dreams like that, especially when I see demons and stuff, that definitely brings me back to being like, okay, I'm Christian, and I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it makes me like a better person, and I want to go back to like reading the Bible and doing like all these little things that you know, like I know God wants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that like there's actually a purpose in having dreams? Do you think that like maybe God gave you I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. One time I literally had a dream like many years ago that I still remember vividly because it kind of snapped me back into consciousness for some reason. Where I was like, you know, Alice in Wonderland, there was a rabbit with like the time watch and stuff, and then he was like running around in the field, and I was chasing him in my dream, and I was chasing him, and I fell into the hole, and I was falling for a really long time, and I got to the bottom. It was like just one beam of light that struck down on me, and it was like God's voice or whatever, and it was like, change your ways, you're running out of time, like change your ways, like, and that dream felt so real to me. I thought it was literally God telling me some like actually, and I woke up feeling really, really scared, and I was like really like I don't know, I just like need to like go turn to God right now.
Yeah, no,
you know,
I feel
like,
that.
and like I just, that dream like kind of like totally scared me to change my life and stuff, because it was so random too. Like at that time in my life, I wasn't really thinking about God at all. Like I didn't care, like whatever. So like that's one dream that I would never forget, because I felt so different and I felt so moved by it, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I think sometimes like he will give you dreams like that where it just it tries to like set you on the right path.
Yeah.
It almost like scares you into it.
Yeah.
Some dreams I feel like they don't have any meaning, but like some of them maybe.
I feel like the way I think of it is like your dreams are trying to tell you something, whether it's like very, very like small and like not really that important to something very drastic in your life. Maybe something you're subconsciously thinking in yourself that you're just trying to tell yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Or maybe again like a message from God, you know. You know, it may be like dreams like all have meaning, and it's just an ability that God gave us to like kind of see what we're thinking internally, to kind of self-analyze ourselves and kind of realign ourselves, you know what I mean? Because I mean deep down we all kind of know the truth about ourselves, but we can't face that in reality. So maybe it's just a way of kind of reconnecting with that. And I mean, when it comes to nightmares and seeing demons and stuff, I feel like especially nightmares and stuff like that, they mean something. They're something that you're struggling with in your daily life, you know, that you're trying to like confront, you know. And that like, because that whenever I have like a super like big nightmare, or like I start seeing some scary shit when I have my lucid dreams, I'm thinking, all right, something's going on right now. Maybe I'm not really noticing it right now. Maybe I'm not, you know, actively thinking about it, but something's going on, and I need to try and deal with it, you know. When it's a nice dream, I'm like, oh, something's going pretty good in my life, I guess. All right, cool. You know, this is fine. You know, I mean, do you have anything to say?
I feel like I think of deja vu would mean something more than dreams, personally, because like I don't know, I feel like whenever I have deja vu, I feel like I'm on the right path. Like I feel like it was God's way of like, this is what you were supposed to be doing. I feel like you can also see it as like maybe you're not doing like the right thing, you're just doing the same thing over again. But to me, I see it as like God was like, you're on the right path. This is where is like the right place to be to have a better future, just to continue on. So I think of it more as deja vu's like mean something more than my dream, because also I just don't dream that often. So like my dreams are pointless.
Maybe it's because you had a dream that you don't remember, and maybe that happened in your dream.
Maybe.
Possible.
It's possible. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
because in psychology class, we're like, oh yeah, everybody dreams at least like 7 dreams, but you just probably don't remember them. Maybe I remember them like in like subconsciously, but like when it happens, it happens. You know?
Yeah.
That's probably what deja vu comes for sure.
Yeah, I feel that. So I've had a few dreams that are like, I don't want to say, okay, so I call them like tragedy dreams. So where I lose like a loved one, and then I kind of go through the scenario, and I'm like, okay, I go to their funeral, and then, you know, like we kind of like live life, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, that's just messed up.
Yeah.
So I've had that for like, I think this might be like the first time I've ever said this, but I've had that for like each of my family members, where I'm like, oh shoot, like my mom's gone, or my dad's gone, and this is what we're doing. This is how we deal with it. And I like already went through like what it's like almost. I don't know. It's a very messed up way of like saying you kind of. I don't want to say you have to be prepared for it, but this is how you kind of deal with loss, almost. But I feel like, I don't know, it's very messed up, and dreams can kind of like give you situations to be like, oh, okay, this is what I do in this situation. Like, that, like what you're saying, maybe I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to say that with like losing.
Yeah.
It's very messed up.
No, but with dreams like that, where you lose a family member and it's like such a tragedy, you really feel such pain in your dream. Like I woke up crying when I've lost some people like in my family in my dream, but when I wake up, I realize that was a dream, and I'm like, I'm so thankful that they're still alive.
Yeah.
I actually I wake up and I'm like, I check on them. I'm like extra nice to them. Like I actually feel like those dreams are a wake up sign to really love them more. And so like I wake up and I'm like, thank God that they're still here. I gotta love them more. Like I feel like
You're not giving them enough time.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's kind of a wake up call to be there for your family more too in those dreams.
Yeah.
I feel.
They're very, very vivid.
Yeah.
I remember I had one where I was going on a run with the cross country team, and we're running on this road, right? And I was one of the only survivors. So there was a like a drunk driver in a truck, and he knocked out like the whole team except for 2 people, and I was one of them. And it was like me and my friend, and we had to go to the funeral and see all my friends. All of them were gone, and it was like vivid. Dude, I felt so messed up after that.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I remember I was like, why was I the only one? I don't know. It might have been like after a movie that I saw or something, because I know there's movies like that.
Yeah.
Where like there's 2 survivors, and they're like, why am I the? But that was me. I was like, why am I the only one? Why did I deserve to live? And yeah, all my friends aren't here, and I don't know. Like I think it's because I haven't really gone through a loss like that. IRL, like in real life, but like I've experienced it. It is weird. It's really weird. I don't know if it's trying to tell me like, oh, okay, this is what you would do. This is how it would be, but in a very messed up way, and this is how to deal with the loss. But yeah, I really don't know.
That's crazy to think about. I don't even know where to go from there.
Yeah. All right.
She got deep real fast.
Yeah. No, I love
One part. I know. That's so great.
That's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
'Cause I can make a few clips out of like everything. Yeah. Oh, you feel that? Okay, so we were just talking about dreams and everything. I kind of want to transition out because we've gone, I want to say 220, 223 probably about now.
It's really a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
So I like to end each podcast with advice from each person. If you want to pass it around, whether it's life advice, maybe life or advice for the future, stuff like that, future planning, or whatever you got that you want to put out to the world.
Sure. I guess the one piece of advice that I have had to remind myself a lot of lately is to just take it one step at a time. If you're feeling overwhelmed, or you feel like it's just so much going on that you can't handle, just take a step back and just process one thing at a time. Because you got a little bit of time. Don't worry about it. Just kind of calm down, take a deep breath, relax, and just slowly tackle it. You don't have to take care of everything at the same time. Yeah. That's the biggest thing I've been trying to remind myself of lately. So do that. Whoever's listening.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up with everything. Don't spread yourself too thin.
Yeah.
Kind of focus on one thing at a time, and then you put enough here, then maybe go and do something else.
Absolutely.
One step at a time.
Exactly. Yeah.
like down to that. Oh, that's good advice too. Like to be present in the moment. Don't get too caught up in your past or in the future.
Yeah.
Like enjoy life as it is right now. Be thankful for everything you have, and also just like learn how to forgive and like let things go.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they go their whole life like holding on to things from their past, and like it's stopping them from growing and being better and like moving on to their future because they're so like caught up on things of the past because they didn't learn to let go and forgive and like move on and realize that life is too short to just like be like on the same thing, you know, be caught up in the same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Advice, I'd probably say take time for yourself. Is like taking time for yourself is very important because you know you can be caught up in your whole life and like you're just going at it forward, like constant movement. But if you really take time and like give yourself like a second to really like just appreciate life and just like yourself, it can truly help like you with like your mental state and everything like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay, so I just want to go through quickly what we went through today. So we went through your trip to Korea, talking about how you guys are excited to see your extended family and all the training. Then we went into your upbringing and all the tournaments you guys went to and how you guys developed the values that you have. We went into being a good martial artist and Taekwondo. A lot of Taekwondo actually for a long time. We talked about Taekwondo.
Yeah.
And then we talked about like our future. We're talking about what we want our kids to be like, what we want our future passions, like our businesses and our being a stuntman.
Yeah.
And then eventually we got into AI and our fears with that, and Terminator, Ultron, and how they're gonna take our jobs.
Yep.
And then different realities, and then finally we went into dreams and deja vu.
That was
and
a lot.
That was
Yeah,
a
that was
lot.
a
We
lot.
covered a lot.
we talked about now that you think about it right now, we talked about a lot, but
Wow.
there's a lot of content. I really do think that very very entertaining episode today. A lot of people can learn from what you guys said today.
Yes.
Definitely take some experiences like I do.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate you guys coming on today. So thank you.
Thanks
so
for
much
having us.
Yeah. We learned a lot too just being here.
Yeah, honestly.
About
Yeah.
ourselves, about each other,
Yeah.
about you.
I never knew half the things about them. Yeah.
No, don't lie. You know at least like
Oh.
2%.
2%, 12%.
12%.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more piece of advice. Listen to your mother and eat your vegetables.
Buckle your seatbelt and brush your teeth.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah.
Carrots are good for your eyesight.
Carrots are good for your
Yeah.
eyesight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we need because we are basically blind.
Yeah.
Good role models.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
guys.
so much.
All right.
Micah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Micah. Shout out to Micah.
Yeah.
Like,
Good job, Micah.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Goal Swell podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like. And if you plan on listening to any future episodes, make sure to subscribe and click that notification button.